guys maybe a little bit more of an immediate need back into the bullpen, swing and miss and strikeouts.
Okay, so well, today the Rangers want a chance to win this series, and in terms of starting pitching, yesterday they had to deal with an opener. Today they will throw an opener at these guys.
Yeah, and if you look back through what the Rangers have done recently, our King of the Hill will show you Ranger starters what they've done the last time through the rotation. You're getting length out of them, you're getting swing and miss, at least 7 strikeouts in 4 of the last 5, and you're getting stingy guys, whether it's a quality start from Gore last night or the other 4 that gave up 2 runs or less. Now moving to today, Cole Winn, as you mentioned, he will be the opener, first time as an opener in his career. He did come up as a starter, so he has some experience throwing in the first inning. This Rays offense has been really good, especially last night, so he will see if he can limit their top 3, their best 3 hitters in the lineup today.
Okay, well, on the radio side, stay right where you are. You'll have the pleasure of Jared Sandler and Matt Hicks the rest of the way this afternoon. On the TV side, Murph, Laura, and I've got a little bit more for you, including our Spotlight segment coming up, where David Murphy takes us into this little run for the Rangers of extra base hits. Fascinating stuff last night and recently for this team. Spotlight coming up next. Rangers baseball on RSN is presented by Progressive Insurance. Step up to the plate for savings. Visit progressive.com. By Amazon. Spend less on your kids for back to school. And by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts, the official casino and resort of the Texas Rangers.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification along the Texas Rangers radio network.
Your home of Texas Rangers baseball. KRLD-FM and HD.
You could describe Tulsa as a big, small town or a small, big city.
Tulsa is a very mixed city of arts and film and sports. I mean, it's a true melting pot of all kinds of things.
Professional baseball in Tulsa, it's actually older than the state of Oklahoma.
It's nice to play in front of, fans that you see on a daily basis.
Ronald Acuna Jr. pouring dirt into Ozzie Albies' glove, and then so Ozzie's walking out saying, "Hang on, what's falling out of my glove? Hold on, what?" And I'm telling you, he's got almost half the.
Buy, sell, and trade the cards you love. From rookies to autos to grails, all in one app, anytime, anywhere. Welcome to a new era of collecting. Visit arenaclub.com and use code RANGERS to claim your deal.
That is way back in the corner, and that ball is history off the facade of the second deck.
He's at the fence, he leaps, and he made the catch!
He lassos towards the Rangers dugout, a 2-run double.
Swinging a drive deep down the right field line. It is fair, and it is gone.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a high fastball.
You're listening to Texas Rangers baseball on the Trajan Wealth Texas Rangers radio network. Presented by your North Texas Chevy dealers. Chevy drives Texas. Globe Life. For over 125 years, Globe Life has helped protect families when they need it most. Globe Life. Make tomorrow better. CertaPro. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro painters. Visit.
Jim Thorpe's resume reads like a work of pure fiction.
So he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's in the College Football Hall of Fame. He got Olympic medals for the decathlon and the pentathlon.
He's the greatest at
I thought I was an athlete, Lindsay.
Thorpe finished his Major League Baseball career with the Boston Braves in 1919, where he played alongside an outfielder named Les Mann.
He invented this particular projector.
And this is not all he's done, right?
He started championing to get baseball into the Olympics. He finally succeeded for the 1936 Olympics, which was held in Berlin.
The German government had discouraged other nations from sending Jewish and black athletes.
We sent over Jesse Owens, and we sent over Mac Robinson, Jackie Robinson's older brother.
Trailblazers like Thorpe and Robinson certainly lit the way for countless others to follow. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv.
An opener for the Rangers' first-round pick back in 2018. Whenever Wynn is finished, it is expected that the bulk of the innings will go to the left-hander Marco Gonzalez, who has made one appearance so far for the Rangers. That was 9 days ago in long relief in a rout of the White Sox in which Gonzalez tossed 3 shutout innings to collect his first career save. On the mound for Tampa Bay, a good one, the 29-year-old southpaw from Cape Coral, Florida, Shane McClanahan. McClanahan 9-6 with a 3.09 ERA. He makes his 20th start this season, his 94th career start. McClanahan in full health this year after missing each of the last 2 seasons, 2024 because of recovery from Tommy John surgery, and last year a nerve issue in his left tricep kept him on the shelf, an issue which required surgery. So pitching this year for the first time since 2023. We'll get to our starting lineups. They're brought to you by Frost Bank, exactly what you unexpected. And we'll go through the Ranger lineup here in the top of the first as Shane McClanahan is ready to get things started. Stepping into the box, Wyatt Langford. Wyatt will be the left fielder here today. And the first pitch is high and outside for ball 1. So we are underway with action here on this Thursday afternoon here in Florida, morning back in Texas. The 1-0, a swing and a miss. And that'll make it 1 ball and 1 strike. That first pitch, which sailed in high, brought to you by Perimeter Global Logistics. PGL is the official supply chain partner of your Texas Rangers. Visit shippgl.com to get your business in the game. Now McClanahan with the 1-1 and a swing and a miss on a change. And that'll make it a ball and 2 strikes. Wyatt hitting .278, 12 homers, 29 runs batted in. About a 1-for-9 series so far. And the 1-2 pitch high and away. And that'll make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. McClanahan looking for his 10th win of the season. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that's grounded left side to his left. Caminero at third. He's up with it. Strong throw across gets Langford for the game's first out. And that will bring up Ezekiel Duran. McClanahan, in his 19 starts, has allowed just 76 hits in 96 innings. Opponents hitting .212 against the left-hander, and he is very tough on lefty hitters. Lefties batting just .130 against him. McClanahan with 33 walks and 88 strikeouts. And he spins this one over the inside corner for strike 1 to Ezekiel Duran, batting second. Zeke playing at third base once again here today for Texas. Now the 0-1, and that one way outside to make it a ball and a strike. Zeke batting .271, 12 homers, 57 runs batted in. On deck is Brandon Nimmo. Nimmo will be the DH here today. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. And the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And it's kind of remarkable when you consider that McClanahan had missed a whole 2 seasons. He's basically back in form this year to the way he had pitched prior to Tommy John surgery, which kept him out in 2024. This pitch is high, and the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. If there's anything that's different about McClanahan in 26 and prior to missing the last 2 years, his strikeout rate is down, but so too is his home run rate. So fewer strikeouts, fewer home runs. Everything else is pretty much the same. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Into the wind he goes, and the 2-2 pitch. And he misses high and away with a changeup. And the count to Duran goes full. Zeke was 0 for 4 yesterday. That snapped what had been an 8-game hitting streak. But over the last 9, batting .333, 7 runs scored, 7 runs batted in. 3-2, and that's down ball 4. So Duran draws the walk. Talking about that 9-game span, Zeke didn't have any walks in the last 9 games, but he picks up the walk here, and so is on with 1 out now for Brandon Nimmo. Rest of the batting order for Texas: middle third, first baseman Jake Berger, second baseman Justin Foscue, and then the center fielder Cam Cauley. In the bottom third of the lineup, shortstop Nicky Lopez, catcher Austin Wins, and right fielder Alejandro Osuna. So here comes Nimmo now, lefty on lefty matchup. Nimmo batting .268, 10 homers, 39 knocked in. He shows bunt, and he'll take this fastball way outside for ball 1. Jared and Brad talking in the pregame about McClanahan and his. And you know, when it comes to McClanahan and the kind of pitches that he offers, he's a bit of a throwback because a lot of starting pitchers these days have 6, 7, 8 pitches. McClanahan has the 4 basic pitches. This offering comes in low, and the count now at 2 balls and no strikes. He throws his 4-seam fastball the most at 37%, and his changeup at 29%. Also has the slider and the curve. This pitch just a little bit off the outside, so he's fallen behind a Nimmo here at 3-0. He's held opponents, has McClanahan, to a 142 average on the changeup and a 183 slugging percentage. And this pitch fired down the middle for a strike, so 3-1 now the count to Nimmo, who was taking all the way. And opponents are hitting just 222 against his curve, and that's a pitch he throws mainly to right-handed hitters, but basically he throws all of his pitches both to lefties and righties. As Nimmo takes this offering for a strike, and the count is now full. So while he's dominated lefties, he's pretty good against righties. Righties only hitting .234 against McClanahan. Now the 3-2. And that ball is hit up the alley in right center. Mesa on the move, reaches out, and he runs it down. Getting to the warning track, Duran had almost made it to second, and he'll hustle back to first here. Terrific running catch by Victor Mesa Jr. in the alley in right center. It looked like that ball was by him.
Yeah, that's a game-changing type play right there. It's not going to be on anyone's highlight reel because he didn't dive, he didn't slide, didn't do anything quote-unquote sexy. All he did was take away extra bases from Brandon Nimmo and take a run off the board for the Rangers. We talked in the opener of this series how good this Rays team is in the outfield. They go and get balls, and that was a great example of that from Mesa right there.
So 2 down. Duran at first. Here's Berger fouling one off, and that will hug the net and end up down in the Tampa Bay dugout on the first base side. Jake coming up batting .238 with 19 home runs and a team leading 66 runs batted in. Here's the 0-1. Another foul ball up and out of play on the right side. So 0-2. The count here to Berger.
Another thing worth noting, Mesa was positioned well to make that play. He was a little bit towards the gap from what would be considered straight up. He wasn't totally gapping him, but his hunch was in the right direction, and that probably made a little bit of a difference.
So 0-2 now to Berger. And a swing and a miss here on a changeup, and McClanahan strikes him out. So for the Rangers, no runs, no hits, 1 left, and after a half inning here at the Trop, Texas 0, Tampa Bay coming up on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
Winning takes focus, strategy, and the right team. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth, and here in Texas.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
Promo code Rangers2026 in the app or online. Valid only in participating Tropical Smoothie Cafe locations. Terms and conditions apply.
In Texas, we say yeehaw.
In Monaco, we say enchanté.
We got pickup trucks.
We have super yachts.
But now you can have both. Get the best of both worlds with Monaco scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery. Play for a shot at top prizes up to $1 million. Or enter for a chance to win a VIP trip to Monaco where you could become a millionaire.
That is a lot of money.
You've got that right. Au revoir.
Must be 18 or older. Play responsibly.
Tampa Bay coming up here in the bottom half of the first inning, and they get to face Cole Winn, who works as an opener, the 26-year-old right-hander who was the Rangers' first-round pick back in 2018, coming out of high school in Southern California. Here today makes his 40th appearance of the season, his 86th big league outing, and his first ever big league start as he throws strike one to the designated hitter Yandy Diaz. Diaz hitting .301, still second best batting average in the American League. A swing here and a foul that comes straight back, and the count at 0-2. Winn 5-3 with a 6.11 ERA. He has one save this year in his 39 outings, 35 1/3 innings with 38 hits allowed, 10 walks, and 36 strikeouts. This pitch, a slider, misses low and away, and that'll make it a ball and 2 strikes here to Diaz. Diaz 1 for 3, led off yesterday's game with a home run, his 5th leadoff home run this year, his 26th career leadoff home run. And here he whistles one right by Winn and out into center. A base knock. Just a seed right back up the middle. So Diaz on board with a leadoff. What's a single?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, we witnessed some history yesterday. Just the 7th time since 1901 that a game has not featured a single. And the first time since 2012 that fittingly we get a single here in the first inning. Hey, this is a big inning. We always talk about how when you use an opener, they've got to complete their assignment. Cole Winn scuffled a bit lately, but he's got to put up a 0 here in this bottom of the first.
As he misses with a cutter to Jonathan Aranda for ball 1. Aranda, left-handed hitter, batting .284. 14 homers, 65 runs batted in. A check of Diaz, and now the pitch. And this cutter scrapes the top of the zone for a strike, so make it 1-1 here to Aranda, 28-year-old native of Mexico. Winn working off the first base side of the rubber. Delivers, and this pitch is popped up foul, going out of play on the third base side. And that'll make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Winn was on a run there for a while. He had 7 consecutive appearances without giving up a run, but then in that outing Sunday against Seattle, as this pitch jams Aranda and he fouls it back, and so the count 1-2. Winn giving up home runs on back-to-back pitches, which ended up turning a Ranger lead into a Seattle lead. The game eventually won by the Mariners 6-4. Winn suffering a blown save and taking the loss in that game, getting charged with 2 earned runs in his 2/3 of an inning of work. He sets here at the belt and fires the 1-2, and that one is lifted foul and out of play again, off on the left side. Aranda, who had hits in each of the first 2 games of this series, has hits in all 4 games in the homestand for the Rays. One of his hits, a double yesterday, which set up the Lade's 2-run home run. Here, yet another souvenir into the seats over on the third base side. Winn, of course, has gone longer than an inning this year in relief. His longest outing, 2 innings, which he did earlier this month, July the 5th, at home against the Tigers. 2 shutout innings in that performance. The 1-2 here, bounced to first, fielded by Berger, steps on the bag for 1, throws down to Lopez, and Lopez is waiting to tag out Diaz. Diaz realized he couldn't do anything about it and just tried to swat playfully at Lopez to knock the ball out of his glove, but he's tagged for the double play. So that goes 3 unassisted, 3-6, wipes out the Diaz single.
Yeah, well, that ball was hit so hard, it gave Berger lots of time to find the throwing lane. Sometimes where first basemen get tripped up is they touch the bag and they don't have time to really make any sort of adjustments. The runner might be in the lane.
Here's Caminero, and he sends one high and deep to center field. Cawley going back on this on the track. He's got a play, and he makes the catch. In that little triangle, the deepest part of the ballpark in left center, Cawley finds that little niche and makes the play to retire Caminero for the final out of the inning. No runs ahead, 1 left. And after 1, 0-0 on.
Here's a drive left center field from Adele. It's Gilbert watching that one fly. And the Angels power out a couple of home runs here in the 4th.
Mentioned that second time through, better swing on a changeup after all those swing and miss on a changeup. That's a changeup going 108.6, going 446. It's Barry Bondsley.
That ball was annihilated by Joe Adele. He has 16 home runs now.
Well, we certainly served it up over the plate. This is a burger fit for a home run king, the 99 burger in honor of Aaron Judge. They sell a bazillion of these at Yankee Stadium. It looks pretty good. I feel like we passed the test. What about you?
I think so.
An official partner of the Texas Rangers, has been helping fans score the best seats at the lowest prices for over 25 years. With deep DFW roots and unmatched customer service, our team makes finding the perfect tickets easy.
So we're going to go down onto the field right now.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is out.
That was the voice of Jordan Baker, the third base umpire and crew chief.
What's that, bud?
Way there. We had a review because there was some thought that high blast by Caminero may have hit one of the rings before it got caught, and or a wire before it got caught by Cam Cawley. And so they reviewed that back in New York and decided that the ball did not hit anything. And Cawley's catch is a good one for the final out in the inning. And we go to the second with the score at 0-0. The Rangers, by the way, turned to 3-6 double play in the bottom of the first. And when the Texas Rangers turned 2, McDonald's owner-operators of North Texas, in conjunction with the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation, will donate $1,000 to the Ronald McDonald Houses of Dallas and Fort Worth. Seems like there's always an inning, or at least always an instance when we're here at Tropicana Field, that we have to crack out the Rays media guide and run down the ground rules on the rings that are above the field. There are 4 rings. The closest ring is the D ring. That's the one that just does hang over the wall in center field and is actually a little bit over the field of play, and maybe that was the one that they were considering. But then you've got the B ring above that, or the C ring rather above that, and then the B ring, and then right at the top you have the A ring directly over the middle of the playing field. The A ring is anywhere between 181 feet and 194 feet above the playing surface.
Listen, I think if you hit the A ring, you should get something.
Yeah,
I know it's not a home run, but like if that's pretty impressive. You can do that. You should get like a free stuffed animal. Or
well, here's a guy who's got enough pop in his bat that he could potentially hit any of the rings. Justin Foscue will lead it off for Texas here in the second, and to tell you about it, It's time for Jared Sandler.
Hey, thanks, Matt. McClanahan winds on the first pitch to Foscue is in there for a strike. The rings are tough to miss when you just look up here at the Trop, but it doesn't even necessarily need to hit a ring. The 0-1, Foscue swings and fouls one out of play to the right. If it hits like a wire that's suspended from the ring, that counts as well, and that's what Mark, our engineer, was saying that maybe they were looking at, because a ring would misdirect the ball clearly, but a wire maybe not so much. Right. But it was determined that Junior Caminero did not hit his 30th home run. 0-2, swing and a tip as Foscue stays alive. Now, Foscue's been scuffling of late, not just against lefties, but overall. But in there to face the lefty McClanahan, who's got that wicked changeup he used to strike out Berger to end the first. Back when McClanahan was coming up before the injuries, the changeup was one of the better pitches in all of baseball. And he's returned to that pitch just being devastating. Opposing hitters hitting under 140 against it this year. 0-2 to Foscue. Swing and a miss. Went upstairs with a fastball, elevating it above the zone, and Foscue's retired for the first out in the top of the second. So that brings up Cam Cauley in a scoreless ball game. There is action in the Rangers bullpen. Marco Gonzalez is starting to throw. The Rays have a lefty in Cedric Mullins due up to begin the second inning. First pitch to Cauley. He turns to bunt, pulls back, pitches a strike at the knees. Then a righty and DeLuca and a lefty in Mesa. So it's likely that Gonzalez starts the inning. If there were a couple righties to begin the inning, maybe Wynn would come back out for a bit. The 0-1, Cauley dribbles one third base side, but foul. And the count 0-2 to Cauley. 3 straight days here at the Trop. 3 straight days I've forgotten my pen. So thanks to Mark for the assist.
I'm down to 1 pen.
Hey, but I brought my car keys yesterday, which is great because my car's back in Texas.
That did you a lot of good then, huh?
Yeah. That was really smart. Yeah. Cauley needed a new bat. He gets one. Our broadcast brought to you by Balcones. Discover Balcones Distilling, the original Texas whiskey.
But if you put your car keys in your pocket every day, then you won't leave them at the hotel.
That's fair. 0-2, Cauley takes, change up low. Good take by Cauley on the signature finishing pitch for McClanahan. No score, top 2, 1 out, nobody on. 1-2, outside. It's 12:31 locally, but for those back in the Metroplex Central Time Zone, it's not yet the afternoon. Some breakfast in baseball today. 2-2. Swinging a hard ground ball to short, but gobbled up by Walls to his right. He has to hustle the throw, and he gets it over there just in time to get the speedy Cam Cauley. And we've got 2 outs in the top of the second. Yeah, Matt mentioned the Rangers have just a 1-game lead now for the top spot in the AL West because the Angels did the Rangers no favors. They led 3-0 after 1 against the Astros, but the Astros came back and won. The Dodgers helped the Rangers out yesterday, though, defeating the Seattle Mariners. So the Rangers 2.5 up on Seattle. First pitch to Nicky Lopez outside. No matter what, the Rangers will go to Houston in first place. The Astros don't play. They're off today. So the Rangers will either be a 1.5 up on Houston or a half game up. The 1-0, Lopez takes a curveball low and away in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Third baseman Caminero, even with the bag way off the line against the lefty Lopez. 2-0. There's a strike over the outside corner. Thought that one might have missed the plate, but it just hung on. Stu Sherwater, the home plate umpire, called it correctly. The 2-1 pitch. Swinging Lopez sends one foul out of play to the left. So the count's 2-2. McClanahan's thrown 33 pitches so far. He is yet to allow a hit. He allowed just a base runner in the first on the Duran walk. Works on the third base side from the windup. 2-2. Lopez swings and chops one to first on 2 hops. The first baseman Aranda has it, takes it to the bag, And that ends the inning. Rangers go down in order. We go to the bottom of the second. Marco Gonzalez coming on to pitch for the Rangers. It's scoreless on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
As the original American single malt from Texas, Falcone's Distilling has been leading the
The first thing people realize is the history of Montgomery, and that history is real. So while that history is in the past, it also helps us move forward in a positive way.
Just like a lot of other of the 120 minor league teams, the baseball is not what we do, right? The Tampa Bay Rays do a phenomenal job of sending amazing athletes here, and we let them handle the baseball, and we handle everything outside the line.
Tuesday afternoon with DFW's hottest show, the G-Bag Nation. 2 to 7 on your official home of the Rangers. 105.3 The Fan.
Bottom of the second, no score, Rangers and Rays. And Marco Gonzalez coming on to pitch for Texas. This was the expectation, right? That Brock Burke would serve as the opener, Marco Gonzalez the bulk pitcher. We'll see how bulky Marco is today. Facing the lefty Mullins to begin his afternoon. The former Seattle Mariner winds and deals, and the first pitch is low and away, ball one. Gonzalez making his second appearance with the Rangers. His first appearance came 9 days ago when he pitched the final 3 innings of a 10-0 win over the White Sox and earned his first career save in so doing. The lefty winds and delivers, and the 1-0 is outside. It was Gonzalez's first major league outing since 2024 when he made 7 appearances with the Pittsburgh Pirates. A career .414 ERA for Gonzalez, the 2-0, cutter in there for a strike. Not a big strikeout guy, but also not a guy who walks a lot of batters. 2-1, swing and a miss, goes back to the cutter, this time off the plate. And Mullins chases the count 2-2. Wind up and the pitch to Mullins. He swings and skies one, foul ground third base side, but that's drifting to the seats and it's out of play. So the count remains 2-2 to Mullins. Not sure how long Marco Gonzalez will go. I don't think the expectation is that Marco Gonzalez is going to give this team 6 innings, but if he pitches well, then who knows? 2-2. Breaking ball. Just barely spins beneath the zone. That was a slur from Gonzalez. And the count is full. 3-2. Mullins hits one in the air to left. Easy play for Langford. He retreats a few steps, now moves in. He's under it and he's got it. 1 away.
As was the case yesterday with Mackenzie Gore. Efficiency a part of the equation, right? If Gonzalez can be efficient, I would expect maybe 3 or 4 innings from him here today. And on the Rangers with Jacob Junis going on the IL, getting Winston Santos back here to the big club. There's a pretty good chance we're going to see Santos perhaps for multiple innings.
First pitch to DeLuca in there for a strike. Yeah, the Rays have a lineup that kind of rode the fence as far as righty-lefty. They'll want to swing and a miss. They didn't load up with righties necessarily, but they do have a couple of lefties on the bench. Gives them some flexibility with how the Rangers play things. The 0-2, DeLuca skies one foul behind home plate and out of play. Gonzalez had 64 AAA innings this year, and in those innings, he threw his fastball around 32% of the time, and averaged just under 90 miles an hour. Change up about a quarter of a time, through a cutter around 20% of the time, a curveball, and then every once in a while a sinker and a slurve. 0-2, that's low. Misses with the changeup. In his lone big league outing this year, he threw the fastball, the change, and the cutter each about a quarter of the time. And the rest was split amongst the slurve, sinker, and curve. The 1-2. That's high. Fastball missing, and DeLuca lays off the count 2-2. Velocity's really never been a big part of Marco Gonzalez's game, but certainly the gap has widened between Marco and the average. The 2-2. Changeup popped up left side of the infield. Duran waving his arms, standing in front of the shortstop Lopez, and he makes the catch in the middle of the dirt. And there are 2 outs. So Gonzalez has retired the first 2 he faces, and that brings up Victor Mesa Jr. Broadcast brought to you by Globe Life. For over 125 years, Globe Life has helped protect families when they need it most. Globe Life, make tomorrow better. We're scoreless. Bottom of the second. Nobody on. 2 outs. The lefty Mesa. And the first pitch from Gonzalez in there for strike. Mesa's father, Victor Sr., also known as El Loco, a Cuban legend, won a gold medal in the Barcelona Olympics in the early 90s. Victor Jr. defected from Cuba alongside his brother Victor Mesa. 0-1. Outside. That was not an issue with your radio. His brother's name, Victor. Both of them signed as international free agents with the Marlins. But it's Victor Jr. who's gone on to have a nice start to his big league career. The 1-1 is hit in the air, foul, out of play to the right. Victor Mesa, who's 30 years old, last played professionally in 2023. And he never got up to the big leagues. 1-2. Gonzalez turns into the windup. The pitch. Outside. He misses with a slurve. And the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He challenges him with a fastball in the zone, and Mesa whiffs on it. And that ends the inning. A 1-2-3 inning brought to you by Pay's Online Checkout. Nicely done by Marco Gonzalez in his first inning of work. We go to the third. We're scoreless. Rangers and Rays on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
Did you know responding to one spam call can lead to more?
Bring up Ezekiel Duran. Yesterday got his 11th of the year. 2-2, and that ball's hit well. Goodness! Into the second deck.
436 feet for Zeke. He gets a fastball belt high down the middle, barrels this, and it's a no doubt about it. Home run.
Duran's solo home run is 12th of the season.
Get to the ballpark August 3rd through the 5th when the Rangers take on the San Francisco Giants. Bark at the Park Tuesday and a day game with Dollar Dogs Wednesday. Get your tickets at Rangers.com.
Austin Wynns leading off the top of the third of a scoreless ball game between the Rangers and the Rays. It's Wynns, Osuna, then back to the top with Langford. And the first pitch from Shane McClanahan is a curveball in there for strike 1. Wins started the opener of this series, hit a big home run for Texas. He swings 0-1 and sends one high up in the air, foul, out of play to the right, just above the Rays dugout over on the first base side. With the score 2-1, Austin Wynns hit a solo home run to extend the Rangers' lead to 3-1. It's his first home run in over a year. 20th home run of his career. 0-2. A swing and a miss. He chases a changeup that fades off the plate. And we got one out. Well, we're finally approaching noon in the Central Time Zone, but we don't have to forget the folks on the other side of the country, like our pal Brad Sham, who's in Oxnard, California for Cowboys training camp. He's reminding us that it's not even 10 o'clock in the morning over there. Here's Alejandro Osuna. Turns to bunt, pulls back. McClanahan's pitch is a fastball that finds the top of the zone for a strike. McClanahan has his light-colored glove at the belt. Winds and deals, and Osuna reaches for one and chops it to first. Aranda off the bag has it, calls off McClanahan, takes it to the base himself, and Osuna's retired. So one time through the Rangers' order, McClanahan has 3 strikeouts and just a walk. No hits surrendered yet as he gets ready to face White Langford for a second time. And Langford's going to take his time after McClanahan has 2 outs on 5 pitches. Langford kicking the dirt around in the box. As McClanahan waits patiently with his white pants up, showing off the blue socks and the bright white spikes. First pitch, and he delivers a curveball that tumbles down and in for ball 1. Langford grounded out to third his first time. Ever since he fouled the ball off his foot, he's been scuffling a little bit. 1-0. He takes, that's low and away, a changeup that misses. Wyatt just 1 for 9 in this series with a double and 5 strikeouts. 2-0. Swinging a high fly ball. That one might come close to the A ring. It misses it in short left center. Mullins cuts in front of the left fielder DeLuca and makes the catch. And that ends the inning. So, was it 8 pitches for McClanahan? He retires the Rangers in order. We go to the bottom of the third. Scoreless between the Rangers and Rays on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back, bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the ultimate mystery player challenge, and Immaculate Grip, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-Off. Lock in your players by category for the walk-off win. The game's official home for games is MLB Play, only on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
On-field equipment partner of the Texas Rangers. Our tractors, mowers, sidekick utility vehicles, and construction equipment have the power, versatility, and durability to get every job done right. Visit your local Kubota dealer to demo equipment today. Kubota, together we do more.
Bottom of the third, it's scoreless between the Rangers and the Rays. Marco Gonzalez starting his second inning of work. And the first pitch he throws to Ben Williamson is a fastball at the knees for a strike. The Rangers pitchers have faced the minimum through 2 thanks to a double play that Cole Winn induced 2 batters into the bottom of the first. Williamson swings 0-1 and the changeup is fouled away out of play to the right. Yandy Diaz led off the bottom of the first with a single, but then Jonathan Aranda hit into A 3-6 double play. Cole Winn put up a 0 in the bottom of the first. Marco Gonzalez in the second. Now Marco back out for the third. The 0-2. Williamson hits a comebacker to the mound. Weakly on one hop, picked up by Gonzalez. He runs to first, underhands to Berger. And Williamson is retired for the first out. Our broadcast brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Here's Walls, switch hitter batting from the right side. First pitch from Gonzalez is upstairs, ball one. We mentioned this the other day, but Walls better against right-handed pitchers than he is against left-handed pitchers, sitting under 200 against southpaws this year. The 1-0. Gonzalez misses with the fastball at 90 miles an hour, and the count's 2-0. Final game of this series between the Rangers and the Rays. The 2-0 pitch. And that misses just high with a cutter in the count, 3-0. Rangers go to Houston to begin a 3-game series against the Astros starting tomorrow. The drive to the next series brought to you by NTTA. The 3-0. Strike over the outside corner. And the windup, the 3-1 offering. Walls pops it up. Back of third, a play for either Lopez or Duran. It's Lopez in foul ground along the line, who calls off Duran and makes the catch. So the shortstop puts Walls away, who fouls out for the second out of the inning. And that brings up the number 9 man, Hunter Fiducia. After the Rangers and Astros square off for the final 3 meetings between those two teams this year, the Rangers return home and host the Giants for 3, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Tickets at Rangers.com. There's Fiducia, the lefty. First pitch from Gonzalez, a strike. That clips the outside corner. The opener of that series is the Grateful Dead theme night at Globe Life Field. You can get your specialty ticket at Rangers.com. 0-1, Fiducia takes. Curveball low and away. That specialty night ticket will make you an honorary Deadhead that evening and get you a co-branded Grateful Dead Rangers concert t-shirts. Again, that's Monday when the Rangers and Giants meet up for the first of 3. The 1-1. Breaking ball that spins in for a strike through the front door, and the count's 1-2.
Giants have struggled on offense all year, but not yesterday. 16 runs against the Brewers yesterday.
The 1-2. Breaking ball turned on and fouled down the right field line, hooking deep out of play. And get those runs out of the way. It's been a tough year for the Giants. They're likely to be sellers, and there's a good chance that their team has a bit of a different feel when they roll into town on Monday than what their roster looks like today. Although they've been adamant that they're not planning on trading Logan Webb, their best starting pitcher. The 1-2. Check swing, low and away. Fiducia lays off, and the slurve misses, so the count 2-2.
Luis Arraez had 4 hits yesterday, though.
They can trade him if they want. Keep him in the National League. Maybe a team the Rangers don't have to face again. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fiducia rips one to right center field. Osuna looks, he turns, one hop, and that one's off the wall. He picks it up on the track as Fiducia hustles up to second. And the number 9 man for the Rays picks up a 2-out double. On a 2-2 count, he turns around an elevated fastball that just wasn't elevated enough. And the Rangers will have to try and keep Fiducia from scoring. The Rays with a man in scoring position for the first time today.
Really good looking swing there by Fiducia. And Osuna just wasn't deep enough. That ball hit at the base of the wall right near the 382 marker in the alley.
So here's the leadoff man, Diaz. First pitch, he takes. And Gonzalez misses a fastball that was a little bit high. Diaz hitting over 400 with runners in scoring position this year. The 1-0. He takes, and the changeup is a strike at the knees over the outside corner. He singled on a Cole Winn fastball down in the count in the bottom of the first. Here he's facing Gonzalez for the first time today. The 1-1 pitch. Inside. Underneath Diaz's outstretched arms, and the count 2-1. Yandy with an open stance, standing in the back of the box. Bat pointing skyward as he waits. The 2-1. A swing and a miss. He tried to hold up, went around about 60% of the way. It was a fastball above the zone, and Diaz was trying to stop himself from swinging, but he had already committed. So he gets sorted by Gonzalez, and the count's 2-2. Marco working in the middle of the rubber from the stretch. He comes set. Check second. Fiducia leading off of there in the 2-2. Diaz lines one through the left side into left field, a base hit. Fiducia waved around third. Langford's throw home on 2 hops is late. Fiducia slides in safely. The ball kicks away from Wins, but Gonzalez there backing him up. And Yandy Diaz is at first base with an RBI single, and the Tampa Bay Rays on the board first.
Well, Diaz got a changeup that time from Gonzalez, a pitch that finished over the outer portion of the plate, right around knee high. And he managed to go down, get it, pull it out into left. Langford was on the ball at about the time that Fiducia was rounding third, but again, that one bounced a couple of times. It didn't really give Wins much of a chance.
So that brings up Aranda. Rays leading 1-0. Diaz continues to do big-time damage with runners in scoring position. First pitch to Aranda inside. Hitting now over .410 with an OPS of 1,000 with runners in scoring position this year. The 1-0. Strike called, outer half. These are two of the best hitting teams with runners in scoring position across Major League Baseball, though it's not like it's been a clinic in that this series, especially for the Rangers. We're 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position through 2 games. Is that right? I got to adjust my abacus.
1 for 14.
1 for 14. Yeah, I didn't move that last beat over. The 1-1 is a curveball that misses low and away.
But Tampa Bay haven't had that many opportunities. They were 2 for 6 over the first 2 games.
Yeah. Diaz, small lead over at first. 2-1 to Aranda. And that one's driven into right field. A sinking liner for a hit. Osuna plays it on a hop, fires it back to the infield. Diaz stops at second. So after Marco Gonzalez retired the first 5 batters that he faced, 3 straight hits off of them. Fiducia with a double, Diaz an RBI single, and Aranda with a single to keep things going for Junior Caminero.
2-1 pitch that time, a cutter that finished in the zone, bottom third of the zone. Jordan Teague's coming out to have a chat here with Marco Gonzalez. But this is the gauntlet for Tampa Bay, right? The top 3 in the order, Diaz, Aranda, and the guy coming up, Caminero. And we see now why clubs, the Rays have done it a lot, and the Rangers have done it as well. Not as much as Tampa Bay, but they've used the opener. This is why, right? If Gonzalez gets the start and gives up hits to the first 2 batters, we might have a first inning like we saw yesterday. But Cole Winn, who did give up a hit to Diaz, faced the minimum in putting up a 0 in the first inning. So this is where Gonzalez has to succeed now, going up against the tough Junior Caminero with 2 men out in the inning. This rally for Tampa Bay happening after Gonzalez had retired the number 7 and number 8 hitters in the lineup.
Caminero, good against righties and lefties. Better against lefties, though, than righties. His numbers are all-star caliber against both sides, but he is a little more lethal against the southpaws. First pitch from Gonzalez, down and in, ball 1. Mullins is on deck, and you wouldn't necessarily walk Caminero to load the bases without a base open, but, well, I say that, they're going to do that. I was just about to say, I would be surprised if they gave him anything good to hit. And even though this loads the bases, I'd much rather have Gonzalez facing Mullins than Caminero. this is not conventional, but it's tough to deny the efficacy of this move.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, especially after that first pitch. All right, why are we even fooling around here? Take your chances against Mullins, who's hitting just 201.
Yeah. Well, Mullins has a chance to make Marco Gonzalez pay. The first pitch. Outside, ball one, a slurve that misses. Part of the reason why you maybe are comfortable doing this is that Gonzalez is not someone who walks many batters. And Mullins, not a guy who walks a whole lot. The 1-0. He takes, there's a strike. Mullins standing nearby his former teammate with the Orioles, Austin Wynns, who's behind the plate as the Rangers starting catcher today. The 1-1. Marco, high kick and the lefty's pitch. Breaking ball outside. Count 2-1 to Mullins. Mullins flied out to left against Gonzalez to begin the second. Flied out on a fastball. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. A slurve that Gonzalez dropped to the bottom part of the zone, maybe a little bit below. Two-plane movement starting over the inside part of the plate and ending up towards the outside part. So the count's 2-2 with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a tapper foul towards the on-deck circle right side. Another slurve, and the count remains 2-2.
And Mullins, a former 30-30 guy, but it's been a while. That was the 2021 season with Baltimore. But he does have 12 home runs this year. Even though he's got a very low batting average, you do have to be careful.
Yeah, struggled against spin, too. We'll see what Gonzalez comes back with again here with the 2-2 offering. The pitch. Spin, and it's a chopper to first. Berger's got it on one long hop, takes it to the bag, and Gonzalez retires Mullins on the slurve to end the inning. Rays get a run on the Yandy Diaz RBI single. They load him up and leave him there, unable to get more. We're through 3. It's 1-0 Tampa on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
He's still back. He will leap, and he caught it. Luis Lara up against the wall. Deep left center field. Buxton and Martin, but it is Byron who caught that ball. Collins is onto the track. He's at the fence. He leaps. He grabs it. He robs Riley Green of a grand slam. Nico steals a run. Heads up play and great athleticism. Harris leaped, and he just robbed him. What a play by Michael Harris. Bellinger goes back. He leaps. He's got it.
That's why he has that gold patch on his glove.
Going back to the track near the wall. Jumps up and makes a remarkable catch. Bends under it. Makes the one-hand catch. Here comes Freeman. Here comes the throw. It's a good one. The slide. Out of the play. It's a squibbing ground walk on the arrow diving play. From his knees. He throws out Bohm. Coming on Cam Smith with a sliding catch. Cam takes one away from Murakami.
Stopping short by Williamson, gets up and throws him out at first to retire the side.
Rangers manager Skip Schumacher. And Friday afternoons at 4:40, it's our Hall of Fame voice, Eric Nadel. Nobody talks and covers this team like your official home of the Texas Rangers. 105.3 The Fan.
Next top half of the 4th inning, and it's Ezekiel Duran to get things going against Shane McClanahan, who has been super sharp. And as soon as I say that, he hits Ezekiel Duran with a pitch. Hit him with a curve. Zeke tried to hop out of the way, but it grazed him. So Zeke will take his base. Brandon Nimmo coming up. Let's pause here for station identification on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
Your home of Texas Rangers baseball. KRLD-FM and HD1 Dallas-Fort Worth. We are 105.3 The Fan.
Zeke was hopping back out of the way as that curveball got him in the left thigh, right in the front of the leg, midway between the hip and the knee. And the first pitch here to Brandon Nimmo is inside ball 1. Nimmo hit a line drive that looked like it was going to be a gapper in right center for extra bases, but that got run down by Victor Mesa Jr., made a terrific running grab. Here, Nimmo looks at a pitch that's low and away in the count at 2 balls and no strikes. So Ezekiel Duran has been the only Ranger base runner here against McClanahan. Zeke drew a walk in the first, hit by a pitch here. Rangers still don't have a hit. The 2-0, and that's curled foul into the seats off to our left. So make it 2 balls and a strike.
In case you're wondering about McClanahan's work on the mound control in the running game, well, he's above average for a pitcher, and then Fiducia behind the plate has done a nice job on his end.
Runner goes, the pitch gets shot foul. Again, into the seats on the third base side, 2-2.
Obviously doesn't mean you're not going to take chances, and when you're facing a guy like McClanahan, sometimes you've got to be the aggressor in trying to make things happen. But really interestingly, Matt, there's now action in the Rays bullpen.
You get a right-hander up. 2-2 pitch. That's outside. Full count here to Nimmo. Casey Legumina, who was used as the opener yesterday. And he's warming up in a hurry as Nimmo takes this pitch inside, ball 4.
Yeah, he's warming up as if this was not something they had discussed. And now Kevin Cash is walking out to the mound alongside one of the Rays trainers. McClanahan missed 2 seasons. And obviously you're going to be careful with any sign of discomfort.
We talked about this earlier. He had Tommy John surgery, which was in August of 2023. They're taking him out here.
Wow.
He had Tommy John surgery in August of 2023. He missed the entire 2024 season. Looked like he was going to be ready for 2025, but he developed a nerve issue in his left tricep. And they tried rehabbing that, but he eventually had surgery on that, which caused him to miss all of life.
You can also enjoy a steak taco a la carte with your favorite meal. And when the Rangers score, you score a free taco the next day when you show your app in-store. Taco Bueno, the official taco of the Texas Rangers.
Puka, Bella, I'm sure you've noticed some changes.
Who are you talking to?
I'm just practicing for when I have to tell the dogs about the twins. You know, because they'll...
Be fine in the spacious third row seat.
But the twins...
Can sleep peacefully thanks to the rear manual sunshade.
And what about the...
Extra cargo space for strollers and dog beds?
I guess you're right.
Can we go to the hospital now? The contractions are getting closer.
The 3-row Lexus TX. Because everyone should feel like the center of the universe. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
There are a lot of ways to make whiskey, but there's only one way to make Jack Daniels. Jack could have been like any other whiskey. Instead, we charcoal mellow every drop through 10 feet of hard sugar maple charcoal. We use water from Cave Spring Hollow in Lynchburg, Tennessee. It's no coincidence that Jack is what it is today. Because when you make your own label, you make everything else yours too. But we don't need to tell you that, do we? Make it count. Jack Daniels. Please drink responsibly. Tennessee Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. Jack Daniels Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels and Old No. 7 are registered trademarks. Copyright 2024 Jack Daniels. All rights reserved.
All All right, we're in the top of the fourth inning, and the Rangers trail 1-0. But exiting the game, the starter Shane McClanahan, after hitting Ezekiel Duran and then walking Brandon Nimmo. McClanahan threw 3 innings plus 2 batters, did not give up a hit. But you just hope for the best for him, that everything is okay as far as that left arm is concerned. And now Casey Legumino will take over here. Fourth inning of our broadcast brought to you by the Texas Lottery. The Texas Lottery proudly supports Texas education and veterans. And thanks to the Texas Lottery, Metroplex ISD employees can take advantage of savings on select Texas Rangers games this season. Look for ticket specials by going to Rangers.com. All right, Legumina has decided that he's warmed up and ready to go. And he'll be facing Jake Berger here with runners at first and second and nobody out. Berger struck out his first time up and takes this pitch way outside for ball one. Berger yesterday against Legumina flied out to shallow right field. Part of a 1-for-4 night last night for Jake.
I think Cam Boozer might already be throwing for the Rays.
The 1-0, a swing and a miss. So make it 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, and you wonder, how far Legumina can go here. Yesterday, he threw a total of 25 pitches in his inning and 2/3 of work. Jock Peterson is now in the on-deck circle. He'll be pinch hitting for Justin Foscue. The 1-1. Swing and a ball driven deep into center field. Mullins going back. Onto the track, he goes near the wall, and just in front of the wall, he makes the catch. Duran tags at second. He advances to third. Nimmo stays put at first. A long ride given that one by Berger, but it's the first out here in the top of the fourth.
Well, good job by Jake, at least moving the runner over. Rangers with a runner at third and less than 2 outs. A chance to respond immediately after the Rays took the lead. You wonder how long Legumina is going to stay in. He's got to face Peterson and at least Cawley if the inning doesn't end after this at bat. The Rangers obviously need to stay out of the double play here.
Remember those days when managers would make pitching changes in the fourth inning after a guy comes in to face just one guy?
I'll tell you what, I think until the day I die, I'll remember September baseball against the Angels with Mike Scioscia as the manager when the rosters were expanded to up to 40, and the Angels would throw, seemed like 15 different pitchers.
29 guys in the box score. All right, we have a meeting on the Hill here as pitching coach Kyle Snyder out to talk things over with Legumina about how to face Jock Peterson. Not too many people have had a great deal of success here recently against Jock. Jock batting here with runners at first and third and 1 out, of the Rangers down by a run. Legumina out of the stretch. And the pitch, this gets fouled back by Jock for strike 1. Peterson on the year hitting .253, a .339 on base percentage, and Jock has 19 home runs, tied with Jake Berger for the team lead. He's driven in 40. Here comes the 0-1. A pitch high and outside, a throw down to third, and Duran back to the bag standing up.
Jock's obviously not going to play second. Cam Cawley, who's on deck, will likely move to second. And then I imagine we see Evan Carter come into play center field. But position versatility huge for the Rangers.
Ball hit back up the middle, and Legumina lets it go, but then Walls boots it. Coming in to score is Duran, and everybody is safe. Nimmo at second, Peterson at first, and you could tell Legumina had an opportunity to play that ball, but he knew it was up the middle, and a chance to get a double play, and of all people, Walls puts the glove down and doesn't put it down far enough.
And I'll be honest, Matt, I think that would have been an incredibly difficult double play just because of Walls moving away from the bag at second, and the second baseman, Williamson, wasn't close to the bag for a flip. So I think Peterson, who's now going to exit the game, he's done his job. Josh Smith coming in. I think that probably would have been a double play unless Legumina made the play, but pitchers are conditioned now to just let that ball go. but because it brought walls across the bag, probably took away the double play chance anyway, but they don't get any outs.
Here's Cam Cauley, and he looks at strike one. So Peterson actually reaches on a fielder's choice. The official scorer determining that had Walls fielded that cleanly, they would have gotten Nimmo out at second. So Nimmo is safe on the error to Walls. Here's a bunt attempt by Cauley, but he misses. And the count now 0 balls and 2 strikes. And Duran scores on the play. So credit Peterson with a run batted in while reaching on the fielder's choice. And now Josh Smith running at first base for Peterson.
So now Smith will probably play second. You'll keep Cauley in center, and it gives you some flexibility with Carter later in the game.
And the 0-2, a swing and a miss. Full cut taken there by Cauley as he cuts through the fastball. And that is the second out in the inning. So the run tying the game here at 1. That first Ranger run brought to you by Kubota. Nicky Lopez, the batter, and here comes Kevin Cash in his 12th season as manager for the Rays. He is the longest tenured current manager for his current club in big league baseball. And we're going to make the switch here, and coming in to pitch will be the lefty Cam Boozer. And while he warms up, we pause for this on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
Biggest thing we're bringing is a brand new Tony Gwynn drop I did with his estate. So we just signed a deal at therealist.com to actually go through his entire archives, present them, and auction them off. And to announce it, we did this limited edition 1994 The Lost Season card. Because, you know, between August of 93 and May of 95, Tony Gwynn batted .406 in 162 games. So in the back, we have the stats of what could have been.
From about 1905 to 1925 or so, teams actually issued cardigans as part of their team uniform. In that era, knitwear was actually having a heyday in sports. Think of ski sweaters or Argyle sweater vests on the Gulf Green. And baseball decided to jump on the bandwagon and create cardigans.
Now for Tampa Bay, the 34-year-old lefty, Cameron Joseph Boozer. Boozer, who has pitched previously in the big leagues with the Red Sox and the White Sox, on for the 20th time this year for Tampa Bay, his second appearance in this series. And he takes on the lefty hitting Nicky Lopez with runners at first and second, 2 men out. Game tied at 1. And here's a ball hit on the right side, a bouncer fielded by Williamson. He pushes it over to Walls in time for the force on Smith to end the fourth. But the Rangers tie it up. They get a run without the benefit of a hit. There was an error and 2 men left, and we played 3.5, knotted at 1 on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
Just because
The captain, Derek Sanderson Jeter, is one of the winningest players in Major League history. He was wearing these very batting gloves when he notched one of those most memorable hits, the 3,000th of his career.
Are we supposed to spit in them like they do the batting gloves?
No spitting. This is a non-spitting museum.
He's just the second player in history whose 3,000th hit was a home run. The first was a former teammate from the Yankees' 1996 World Series championship team. But before he began his Cooperstown-bound career, Boggs would cross paths with another future Hall of Famer. September 6, 1995, the Iron Man played his 2,000th 131st consecutive game, surpassing the unbreakable record of the Iron Horse.
Now that's how you pass the torch. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
Time to make some midweek summer memories. Get to the ballpark August 3rd through the 5th when the Rangers take on the San Francisco Giants. It's Bark at the Park Tuesday and a day game with Dollar Dogs Wednesday. Get your tickets at Rangers.com.
All right, here come the Rays in the bottom of the 4th. Johnny DeLuca to lead it off, and Marco Gonzalez spins one in for strike one. DeLuca popped up to third his first time up. Rangers have made some changes as this pitch gets popped up foul, out of play right side of the count now. No balls and 2 strikes. Josh Smith, who pinch ran for Jock Peterson, comes into the game to play at third. That pushes Zeke over to short. Nicky Lopez goes over to second base. As here's a pop-up out into very shallow right field. Coming on is Osuna, and he'll make the running grab in extremely shallow right to get DeLuca for the first out here in the bottom of the 4th.
I think Skip Schumacher knew going with the opener he was going to have a little bit of a chess match to play, but Kevin Cash is a little more involved in the chess match now with McClanahan's early exit than what he intended. And I don't love that McClanahan got hurt, but I do love when a game unfolds and you got a lot of decisions from the manager strategically.
Well, here's a bunt, and Gonzalez goes to pick it up midway between the mound and the first baseline, but as he is spinning, trying to make a bare hand pickup and throw all in one motion, he doesn't get the ball, and so safe at first, Victor Mesa Jr. laying down a really nice bunt.
It was almost like Gonzalez, in trying to position his body, overran the ball and then had to reach back to pick it up, but was off balance and wasn't able to secure it.
So here's Ben Williamson now. And Williamson will take this first offering for strike one. Well, that was a long top half of the 4th, perhaps necessary for Gonzalez, who threw 30 pitches in the bottom of the 3rd. But the Rangers able to respond to Tampa Bay's scoring of a run with one of their own. Now the 0-1, swinging a foul, this one straight back. So 0-2 the count. Williamson tapped out to Gonzalez back in the 3rd. Williamson, second-round pick of the Mariners back in 2023, coming out of William and Mary, and he was acquired by the Rays in a 3-team deal back in February. That's a deal that included the Cardinals. Here's a line drive over Berger, but it slices foul going through the Tampa Bay bullpen. The count holds here at 0-2. That was the same deal where Brendan Donovan went from the Cardinals to the Mariners. Williamson open stance back in the box here as Gonzalez contemplates another 0-2 offering. The pitch is lined into center. That's a base hit. Mesa around second, headed to third. The throw not in time as Mesa dives safely into third. Williamson gives the Rays runners at the corners with one out now for Taylor Walls.
Great base running by Mesa. And then Langford thankfully threw through the cutoff man, because if he didn't, Williamson was ready to get to second. But he had to stay put at first. You know, I wonder how much differently Skip Schumacher manages the bullpen now that McClanahan's out of the game. You know, if you're down, let's say 2-0, but McClanahan's cruising, probably a different calculus than the current situation, which is the Rays having to go to their bullpen a lot earlier than expected. Maybe you don't leave Gonzalez in his line.
Yep, here's the switch hitting Walls, and he bunts. But the ball is bunted foul just off the dirt circle up the first base line. Safety squeeze, Mesa coming down the line from third, but Walls can't keep it fair. Strike one. Well, this is a Tampa team that knows how to bunt for both base hits and sacrifices. The set by Gonzalez, a long hold, and now the pitch, and he shows bunt again, but pulls the bat back on a changeup that misses. And that'll make it 1 ball and 1 strike.
And if you're the Rangers, you got to be smart here. You need to avoid the big inning. You got Walls and then Fiducia, but then afterwards you got the big boppers for the Rays. It's the type of situation the game can get out of hand if you're not disciplined in these spots.
Now the 1-1. And that one is low. Wall's getting the bat out of the way, and that'll make it 2 balls and 1 strike. In Major League Baseball, the Tampa Bay Rays, by far and away leading the league in bunts put in play. Second is Milwaukee, and the Rays have put more than 20 bunts in play ahead of the Brewers. Here, Wall's not showing bunt. Takes a cutter up and in, and the count goes to 3-1. Infield in just a little more than halfway, not quite in all the way. Smith at third, standing just inside the cut on the turf. Gonzalez now with the 3-1. And it's ball 4. Just missed did Gonzalez. So Wall's with the walk, and that loads him up here for the catcher, Fiducia.
That was awfully close. I'd be curious if there was a challenge, if it would have been overturned.
Well, Gonzalez was in a spot in the third. Gave up a run.
Hey, Skip Schumacher is going out to the mound. Not going to be a pitching change. No one's warming. It's rare you see a manager go to the mound and not even have the possibility or threat of making a pitching change. You don't see that very often these days.
Sort of a here's what we're going to do, and maybe just a little bit of a pep talk. This is a big spot in the ballgame right here. Tied at 1, bottom half of the 4th. For a second straight inning, the Rays have the bases loaded. Now, they scored in the 3rd before loading the bases, but after they got the bases loaded, Gonzalez got Mullins to bounce out. That was after they walked Junior Caminero with runners at first and second to load the bases. But here, you've got Mesa at third, Williamson at second, Walls at first, and Fiducia up. Fiducia doubled and scored the Tampa run in the 3rd. And here, a slurve misses away for ball 1. Lefty pitcher, lefty batter. The set and the 1-0. And that one a little bit low, but Wins is going to challenge.
The catcher is challenging the pitch.
I don't think he's going to win this one, unfortunately.
The pitch is a ball. Texas has 1 challenge remaining.
So the count to Fiducia 2-0. I think that's the first challenge for Wins in a Ranger uniform that he did not get correct. So 2-0. The set by Gonzalez. And the pitch. And that's in there for a strike. Fastball at 90 to make it 2-1. Fiducia on the season 4 for 20 against left-handed pitching. And now the 2-1. And that's lifted foul and out of play left side. So Gonzalez fights back from down 2-0 to draw even here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fiducia also on the year hitting 172 with men in scoring position. He's got the bases loaded with 1 out here in the 4th. Gonzalez ready. The 2-2 pitch. And it's tapped foul over by the Tampa Bay dugout. Gonzalez going back to the slurve. And Gonzalez had to throw a lot of pitches in that 3rd inning. He threw 30 pitches. And he's got 2 1/3 innings of relief so far today, and he's thrown 66 pitches. Again, the 2-2, and that's outside and low. Missed with a change. So the count to Fiducia runs full, and you've got the line next of Diaz, Aranda, and Caminero. He really needs to get Fiducia here. Bases loaded, 1 out, full count to the left-handed hitting catcher. And here it comes, swinging a ground ball right side. Lopez has it to second for 1. Zeke to first. Hey, got both. Double play, 4-6-3. Gonzalez gets out of the jam. What a huge pitch for Marco Gonzalez. And that will end the bottom half of the 4th inning. No runs, 2 hits, 2 are left. To the 5th we go, tied at 1 on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
TXU Energy is the trusted. Yeah, mine was a tops now as well. I hit my first walk-off last year against the Mets.
Jacob Young, Nationals win. Now he's got his first walk-off big league hit.
Dad had bought a stack of them, and I was like, I think we can get these ourselves, but he went ahead and bought a stack for himself.
Like business cards. There you go.
But it was awesome just to have that moment and have everyone so excited to have a picture of you is a fun moment.
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back, bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the ultimate mystery player challenge, and Immaculate Grid, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-Off. Lock in your players by category for the walk-off win. The game's official home for games is MLB Play. Only on the MLB app and MLB.com.
In Monaco, we have super yachts.
Get the best of both worlds with Monaco scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery. Top prizes up to $1 million and enter for a chance to win a luxury trip to Monaco. Must be 18 or older. Play responsibly.
Huge double play there in the bottom of the fourth to keep this a tie ball game. And now the Rangers come to bat in the fifth. Wins, Osuna, and Langford, the due batters. Against the lefty Cam Boozer. Boozer, the third pitcher of the day for Tampa Bay. So lefty pitcher, righty hitter here. Wins struck out in the third. And Boozer's pitch is in there for a strike. Well, essentially, with McClanahan coming out after facing two batters in the fourth inning, all of a sudden this has become a bullpen game now for the Rays. As they have more activity in the bullpen. Swing and a miss here, 0-2.
Sorry, Matt. Craig Kimbrell is throwing.
Right. He'll be making his second appearance of the series. And all of this obviously unexpected, especially with the way that McClanahan was pitching. He had a no-hitter going when he was lifted. And, in fact, the Rangers still do not have a hit, even though they have a run. The 0-2, swing and a foul tip. Wins lunging for that, getting just a piece of it.
Peyton Gray is starting to throw for the Rangers.
We figured Gonzalez for 3 or 4 innings. Gonzalez has thrown 68 pitches. So a chance his day is done. 0-2 here. Wins again, fouls one back. A cutter this time from Boozer. And so we'll keep it at no balls and 2 strikes. Boozer's a guy who went undrafted. He spent time in the Twins, Diamondbacks, Red Sox, and White Sox organizations. As he'll miss here outside. He'll make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. He made his first appearance in the big leagues as a Red Sox 2 years ago. And in fact, made 43 appearances for Boston during that 2024 season. Change up here, swing and a miss. And Wins is out on strikes. First out in the top of the fifth. Alejandro Osuna coming up. Fifth inning brought to you by Balcones. Discover Balcones Distilling, the original Texas whiskey. Osuna grounded out to first back in the third. Boozer lifts the leg and comes home and misses high here with a fastball for ball 1. Boozer, when he sets up, turns his back slightly to the hitter. So as he gets into the set position, puts that right foot in front of the left a little bit, and then fires a pitch here on the inside corner for a strike. So make it 1 ball and 1 strike. Osuna, of course, has hit lefties well, a .310 average against southpaw. Here's the 1-1. swing and a miss. Challenged him with a fastball. So make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Boozer with the Red Sox 2 years ago, a 3.38 ERA. Last year, he made a total of 39 appearances for the White Sox. His ERA last year, 5.52. Here's a ball lined into left center field, and that drops for the base hit. Mullins over to cut it off. He spins, fires it back into second. So Osuna, as he often does with 2 strikes in the count, hits the ball the other way off of a lefty. On board here with a 1-out single. And that's the first hit for the Rangers here today. It's also 3 batters faced now for Boozer, so he'll be lifted. And Craig Kimbrell coming on here from the bullpen in the right field corner. We're in the 5th inning. We're tied at 1. 1 on, 1 out for Texas. And as Kimbrell warms up, we pause for this on the Trajan Wealth Rangers.
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game. These games. All the games. Pre-game. Post-game. And everything in between. This is baseball your way. With real-time stats, scores, breaking news, and custom content that hits every time. Because you choose the teams and pick the players you want to follow. So when they catch it on the field, you catch it on the app.
And if you want a Cy Young, 73, 5, and 6, I've got an extra 5. And then it says, has worked as a TV commentator. You know, and I did start back in 1978. I did the Yankees and the Red Sox playing the 1-game playoff. And ABC said if the Yankees win, Reggie will play, and then you'll go broadcast with Howard Cosell and Keith Jackson. And that's how I started my broadcast. And that's the Bucky Dent home run. So every time I see Bucky Dent, I go, thank you for making me a broadcaster.
Texas trusts most.
All right, the veteran Craig Kimbrell coming on here for Tampa Bay. Kimbrell pitched on Tuesday, gave up a run in the 8th inning, giving up that run on an RBI single by Evan Carter, but he faces Wyatt Langford here. Wyatt 0 for 2 in the game. And Kimbrell turns, fires one over to first, and Osuna dives back to the bag. We have received an update on starter Shane McClanahan. McClanahan removed from the game after facing 2 batters in the 4th with what has been described, as Wyatt Langford calls time here, McClanahan leaving with left mid-back tightness. That injury update brought to you by Bailey and Gallion. First pitch to Wyatt near the top of the zone for strike 1. And I suppose if you're a Rays fan and you're hearing that the injury has something to do with the back, which of course can be really tricky, at least it's not something to do with his left arm.
Yeah. Not a shoulder, elbow.
Yeah. The 1-strike pitch hit hard past the third baseman Caminero down the line. That one goes all the way into the corner. DeLuca there to retrieve it. Osuna hits the bag at third. He's being waved home. They missed the cutoff man. Osuna scores standing up, and the Rangers have their first lead 2-1 as Wyatt Langford doubles.
You have a double cutoff setup there. Caminero is essentially backing up the primary cutoff man, the shortstop Walls, and DeLuca's throw sailed over Walls. Not sure if they get Osuna, if the cutoff throw is more accurate. But it certainly took away any chance for there to be a play at the plate. And a big hit for Wyatt Langford in his home state. We talked about it's been a rough series. He's not fared well against the Rays or in the state of Florida against Tampa Bay in his career, be it here at Steinbrenner Field. But it's a big hit right there to give the Rangers a lead.
Wyatt with his 30th run batted in of the season. Here's Ezekiel Duran. And Zeke takes a pitch that's way inside, ball 1. Zeke has walked and been hit by a pitch, and he scored the first Ranger run. So Zeke doesn't have an at-bat, but has done well in 2 plate appearances. Now the 1-0. Taken for a strike. So make it 1 ball and 1 strike. For Langford, that double also his 13th of the season. And you talk about Langford not having a great deal of success here at the Trop. This is the 6th game that he has played in this ballpark. So the 1-1 is lifted by Duran out into center. Easy play for Mullins, who starts in, now veers to his left. Reaches up, makes the one-hand grab. Tagging is Langford. Here's the throw. Wyatt slides. The throw, a one-hopper into Caminero, taking him off the bag. So Wyatt advances on the fly ball out. 2 down in the inning. Now a runner at third. And the batter is Brandon Nimmo. But Wyatt, with his RBI double, now 1 for 3 today, is 4 for 25 now, lifetime in this ballpark. That is his 2nd double here. But just a huge knock given the situation. Rangers managing to keep it a tie game in the bottom of the 4th. Getting Fiducia to hit into that 4-6-3 double play. And then Wyatt taking advantage rather here with a 1-out double to score Alejandro Osuna from first base.
Now, worth noting, Matt, Wyatt moving to third, 2 outs, so he's not going to be able to score on a sac fly or a ground out, but Kimbrel in 32 innings has 4 wild pitches. That's a pretty high rate. And so now Wyatt's in position. If Kimbrel were to let one of his nasty breaking balls get away from him or get by Fiducia, Wyatt's now in a position to score.
Kimbrel, his combined numbers this year with the Mets, has made 31 appearances, has pitched to a 4.50 ERA. So Kimbrel now to Nimmo. And the first pitch to Brandon comes high and tight for ball 1. Nimmo retired on a terrific running grab by Victor Mesa Jr. deep in right center in the first. Brandon then walked in the 4th, and that's what sent McClanahan off the diamond, the last batter that he faced. Here, Nimmo calmly takes a fastball for a strike, and that evens the count now to 1 ball and 1 strike. Nimmo, with that 4th inning walk, has now reached base safely 8 of the last 9 games. He awaits the 1-1 from Kimbrel. He kicks and fires. And that pitch is down. Good stop by Fiducia. So make it 2 balls and a strike. Rangers 2 runs on 2 hits. The Rays a run on 6 hits. Kimbrel straightens to the set. Comes home with a 2-1. And that bounced in. That hit about a foot out in front of the plate. Again, a good block by Fiducia. So 3 balls, 1 strike to count. Jake Berger waiting on deck. Rangers trying to add to their 1-run lead here. Now the 3-1. And that's very high, ball 4. So Nimmo walks for a 2nd time. Runners at the corners now with 2 men out. And that brings up Jake Berger. Berger, a fly ball out to the warning track in center. His last time up, he's 0 for 2. Berger faced Kimbrel on Tuesday and flied out to left field.
Seems like a big opportunity right here to try and increase this lead before you get to some of the tough late inning arms of the Rays.
Kimbrel's pitch gets fouled back into the seats just down to our right. Strike 1. Berger 1 for 3 lifetime against Kimbrel with a walk. Infield here playing Jake to pull. The outfield straight up. Langford off of third. Nimmo away from first. Kimbrel's 0-1. Swing and a miss. A sweeper that time from the right-hander. And the count now at no balls and 2 strikes. Berger has been a much better hitter on the road this year. He's got a 10-game on-base streak coming into play here today. Love to get on here. There goes Nimmo. Kimbrel doesn't even watch. Fires the pitch low. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nimmo took off and Kimbrel was fully fixated on the pitch. For Nimmo, his 5th steal, a base hit. would score 2 now.
I think Nimmo was prepared to get into a rundown. I don't think that Nimmo was stealing that base thinking, I'm just going to take second. I think he was intentionally doing that, hoping Kimbrel would get off and try and get him out and allow Langford a chance to steal a run.
The count now 1-2, the kick and the pitch. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. Elevated the fastball. So Berger, the final out here in the top of the 5th. But the Rangers grab the lead for the first time. They get a run on a couple of hits, leave 2. We're halfway through. Texas ahead 2-1 on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
So the museum opened in 1999. Grandpa was just an amazing human being, and we want to share his legacy with the next generation of baseball fans and non-baseball fans alike. I kind of like to have the cards as a reminder, like I can kind of look at his face and see what he looked like that year. It just kind of helps me visualize in my mind what it would have been like to see him play, because I didn't get that chance.
Now representing the organization, Jim Leland and A.J. Hinch are presenting Miggy with a customized set of cleats made by renowned artist Marco Turzo, made from several significant baseballs from Miguel's career. The cleats are presented on a base representing the time he spent at both third and first base in his career.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
Prizes up to $1 million. Or enter for a chance to win a VIP trip to Monaco, where you could become a millionaire.
That is a lot of money.
You've got that right. Au revoir.
Must be 18 or older. Play responsibly.
Marco Gonzalez done after 3 innings of bulk work, throwing 68 pitches. But he leaves with a 2-1 lead and turns it over to the right-hander Peyton Gray. First pitch to Yandy Diaz is low and outside, ball 1. Diaz 2 for 2 with hits against both Cole Winn and Marco Gonzalez, and he drove in the Tampa Bay run with his 3rd inning single. Gray delivers a fastball outside and falls behind in the count now at 2 balls and no strikes. Gray definitely has become a guy maybe not being used in the late innings, but definitely used in leverage spots. Rangers with the 1-run lead here in the 5th. This pitch gets fouled back. And it's now 2 balls and 1 strike. He comes on for the 34th time this year. Gray 5-0 and a 3.43 earned run average. Working off the third base side of the rubber. He kicks and throws, and this pitch just missed, maybe a little bit outside. He missed there with a slider. And so the count now at 3 balls and 1 strike. Gray, change-up, fastball, slider pitcher. And a swing and a miss here as he goes to the heater, and the count now full. Gray throws his change-up more than any other pitch, about 42% of the time. The fastball about 38%, and the slider 20%. And he throws all 3 of his pitches to both lefties and righties. 3-2 on the way. And another foul up and out of play on the right side. Now we've got action in both bullpens, pair of lefties. Steven Matz for Tampa Bay and Robbie Hallstrom now up and warming in the Rangers bullpen.
I wonder if this might be just a 3-batter outing for Gray.
Again, the 3-2 and a swing and a miss. Fastball takes care of Diaz. 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Brings up Jonathan Aranda. After Gray faces 3 batters, the next batter would be Cedric Mullins, a lefty. Kevin Cash has kind of spread his lefties out in the lineup here today. So here's Aranda, who singled to right his last time up, 1 for 2. Extended his current hitting streak to 5 games. And he swings and shoots one foul out of play on the left side. Strike one. Hey, coming up on Friday, August the 7th, the Rangers at home against the Orioles. If you're one of the first 10,000 fans out to the ballpark, you'll get the I Like Texas limited edition vinyl record presented by 105.3 The Fan. Tickets can be had at Rangers.com. A swing and a miss here by Aranda. 0-2 the count. Aranda asking for time and stepping out. Next up for the Rangers on the schedule, though, the Houston Astros, a 3-game series that starts tomorrow in Houston. And as Aranda fouls this fastball back, so we stay at no balls and 2 strikes. Junior Caminero is on deck. Rangers playing Aranda to pull in the infield, just about straight up in the outfield. Gray again at 0-2. And that one fouled away on the third base side. Aranda has been a much better hitter here at home this season. 307 average here at home, 262 on the road. Big difference in the OPS, though. He's got a 909 OPS here at Tropicana Field compared to just 726 on the road, which isn't bad. Here he takes a called third strike and immediately signals that he wants to challenge.
The batter is challenging the pitch.
Yeah, he's not going to win this one. That looked pretty clearly over the plate from our vantage point.
It's a strike.
The pitch is a strike. Tampa Bay has 1 challenge remaining.
Almost half the ball in the zone. So Gray with a swinging strikeout and now a looking strikeout. 2 down in the inning. Junior Caminero steps up. A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Well, Progressive protects them both. It was an easy riddle. Learn more at Progressive.com. First pitch to Caminero. He checks his swing but takes a fastball for strike 1. Rangers ahead 2-1 here in the 5th. 2 out, nobody on. Caminero fly ball out to the warning track in center in the first. Was then intentionally walked to load the bases in the third. Swing and a miss here on a changeup in the count 0-2. Skip Schumacher move that worked because Marco Gonzalez got Cedric Mullins to bounce out to end that bottom of the third with the Rays only scoring 1 run. And time here, Caminero involved in a discussion with plate umpire Stu Sherwater. Not too sure what that talk is all about, and Caminero will climb back in here. Caminero just 23 years of age. He awaits the 0-2 from Gray. And that pitch is down. So make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Caminero, by the way, had not walked in the last 7 games. He draws walks. Here he grounds 1 foul on the third base side. Total of 58 walks on the season after that intentional pass in the third. But again, here of late, he has not been drawing the base on balls, but he's been really good since the All-Star break, a batting average of .308 since the break. The 1-2, and Gray fires one outside. So 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Gray getting set in the stretch. And now the 2-2. And that's popped up right side, foul ground. Wins, Berger, and Gray all in pursuit. Wins will make the catch right in front of the Tampa Bay dugout to get Caminero for the final out here in a 1-2-3 bottom of the 5th, brought to you by Pays Online Checkout. We head to the 6th inning from St. Petersburg. Rangers lead it 2-1 on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
Chevy is called the heartbeat of America for a reason, and Silverado keeps.
Down the third base line, Sprague goes home and he hits Ronnie Smith. Now also heading home is Voigt. He's in. The ball will go over to the seats. Heading home is McLemore, and he is safe. And the ball is dropped, and the fans are furious. The Toronto Blue Jays, the world champions, have done their 1962 Mets imitation.
All right, I got a couple packs of 1986 Topps baseball cards. Let's open them up and see who's in here. I love the bubble gum. Oh my. Tom Seaver, but with a White Sox uniform on. The franchise for the Mets. I played with him in 1983, my rookie season. I was just in awe with these guys when I saw them in spring training and got a chance to play with them. Baseball cards of memories.
On the San Francisco Giants. It's Bark at the Park Tuesday and a day game with Dollar Dogs Wednesday. Get your tickets at Rangers.com.
Josh Smith leading off the top of the sixth. Rangers leading 2-1. Steven Matz into the game for Tampa. The first pitch he throws is a sinker that misses high, ball one. The Rays have completed 17 series here at Tropicana Field this year. They've swept 7 of them. The 1-0 in there for a strike. They've only lost 3 series here at home, the most recent of which coming at the very beginning of June. It's been almost 2 months since they've lost a series at the Trop. 1-1. Curveball low and away to Smith. Count 2-1. Well, the Rangers are currently leading 2-1 in the rubber game of this 3-game series in the top of the 6th inning. 2-1 pitch. Smith chops one towards the middle. Walls far to his left, has it on the right side at second. Throws to first. Smith's retired. 1 away. Let's pause for station identification along the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
Your home of Texas Rangers baseball. KRLD-FM and HD1 Dallas-Fort Worth. We are 105.3 The Fan.
Matz is appearing in his 17th game this year. He has not been very good. Former starter, one time a top prospect for the Mets. And the first pitch he throws to Cawley is a fastball for a strike. ERA above 6. Opposing hitters batting over 260 against him, slugging 500. The 0-1, there's a strike over the inside corner. He gave up the home run to Austin Wynns in the ball game on on Tuesday. Went an inning and a third. But he's got 1 out here in the top of the 6th. He's ahead of Cawley 0-2. And a pitch. Way upstairs, count 1-2. Well, the Rangers extended their extra base hit streak with Wyatt Langford's go-ahead double in the 5th inning. Speaking of extra base hits, 1-2 is low. They also have a streak of consecutive games with multiple extra base hits. They have yet to extend that. 2-2. Swinging a foul out of play to the right. The 2-2 on the ground is short. Walls gobbles it up, has to hustle his throw to first. He makes it in time. Cawley's retired. The Rangers have the longest active streak of recording at least 2 extra base hits in a game with 16. It's the 3rd longest streak since 2023 for the franchise. Back in 2023, the Rangers had 19 straight games with multiple extra base hits, and later that year in September, 18 straight games with multiple extra base hits. Here's Nicky Lopez. First pitch. In there for a strike. Speaking of extra base hits, Nicky Lopez has gone 14 straight games without one. Maybe he could change that right here. He's 2 for 6 in his career against Matz with a couple of singles. Chops the second pitch of his at-bat to second, right to the second baseman Williamson, throws to first, and that ends the inning. 1-2-3 inning for the Rangers. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Rangers on top 2-1 on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
Progressive presents ways to save money that aren't bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive.
Thanks again for...
Well, this is a World Series card. Everybody said, what's it going to be to pitch against Sandy Koufax, who's a dominant pitcher? I said, I hope I don't embarrass myself. And I didn't. Pitched my first shutout ever. We won 6-0, and my parents were there. My mom was afraid of heights, so she was in the upper deck. She had to come down and trade seats with somebody so she could actually watch her 20-year-old son pitch a shutout in the World Series.
The first thing people realize is the history of Montgomery, and that history is real. So while that history is in the past, it also helps us move forward in a positive way.
Just like a lot of other of the 120 minor league teams, the baseball is not what we do, right? The Tampa Bay Rays do a phenomenal job of sending amazing athletes here, and we let them handle the baseball, and we handle everything outside the line.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
This game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rangers Baseball, LLC.
Peyton Gray is a right-handed pitcher, but he's been better against lefties this year than righties. So he stays on to face Cedric Mullins, followed by Johnny DeLuca and Victor Mesa Jr. Mullins and Mesa are both left-handed swingers. First pitch to Mullins. He bunts first base side. Wins, lets it go foul. It was about 10 feet up the line when Wins almost came in contact with it, but then it hit a pebble and skipped wide of the chalk, so Mullins will retreat to the box. Gray retired Diaz, Aranda, and Caminero in the fifth inning. And so Gray, with Alstrom warming and presumably ready, will at least face Mullins. And I imagine a part of the calculus for Skip Schumacher is if they go to Alstrom right here, then perhaps Kevin Cash goes to Ryan Valade. And Skip Schumacher prefers the matchup of Gray versus Mullins compared to Valade versus Alstrom. 0-1, the pitch to Cedric. He swings and pops one up out in front of a Gray changeup. In a right center field, Osuna makes the call and the catch. One away. So that brings up the right-handed swinger Johnny DeLuca. Rangers on top 2-1. The Rays struck first on a Yandy Diaz RBI single in the third, but then in the top of the fourth, the Rangers got a run on a Jock Peterson fielder's choice in which an error was committed by Taylor Walls. First pitch to DeLuca is low and away. Men were at the corners and one out. Peterson had a ground ball towards the middle. Could have been two. Probably wasn't going to be a double play because the shortstop Walls had to field it on the right side at second. But when he booted it, there was no chance. And no out was recorded. The 1-0 pitch, DeLuca takes a slider outside. Rangers then got another run across when Wyatt Langford doubled home Alejandro Osuna in the fifth inning. 2-0. DeLuca swings and it's a high drive to left. This game is tied. Langford to the wall. He turns and watches. Johnny DeLuca gives one a ride for his 7th home run of the season, and the score is 2-2.
Well, if you're a hitter, you're probably looking fastball more often than not. When you're ahead of the count 2-0, you're definitely looking fastball. That's what he got, and he didn't miss it. It was a pitch that finished basically middle.
415 feet. Fourth home run that Gray's allowed. 3 of those 4 home runs have come off the bat of right-handed hitters. So here's Mesa Jr. He's 1 for 2. New ball game, tied at 2. First pitch from Gray. Swing and a miss. He challenges Mesa with a fastball. And the count 0-1. No action in the Rays bullpen. They probably need an extra inning from Steven Matz. Wins, Osuna and Langford due up for the Rangers in the 7th. They tied at 2. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Another fastball. And the count 0-2.
And DeLuca had been 0 for his last 9.
Oh, 2. Swinging a high fly ball left center. Langford and Cauley over. It's Cauley in the deep alley. He makes the catch. 2 away. Time now for Aces Update, brought to you by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts, where the players play. Just one other game in action. The Twins and the Royals. That game scoreless in the bottom of the second. But later tonight, Roki Sasaki and Brian Wu will face off at Dodger Stadium. Late start, 9-10 for those in the Metroplex. Rubber game of a 3-game series between the Dodgers and the Mariners. Here's Williamson. Right-handed batter. And the first pitch, a big cut and a miss on a slider from Gray. Just a reminder that the Rangers Golf Polo will be given away for the first 10,000 fans on August 8th when the Rangers and Orioles meet up at Globe Life Field. It's presented by Energy Transfer. 0-1, swinging a bouncing ball towards the middle. Duran far to his left has it. Spins, fires to first, and Williamson's retired. And that ends the inning. But Johnny DeLuca's solo home run ties the score at 2. We go to the 7th, 8-9-1, due up for Texas against Steven Matz on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
Quick, the MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game, these games, all the games. Pre-game, post-game, and everything in between. This is baseball your way. With real-time stats, scores, breaking news, and custom content that hits every time. Because you choose the teams and pick the players you want to follow. So when they catch it on the field, you catch it on the app.
Te encantan los jugadores. Te encanta el juego.
¡Y se fue!
Ahora puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas, jerseys autografiados y más, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores agregados toda la temporada. Cada artículo es autenticado por MLB para asegurar que lo que llega directamente a tu hogar es original. ¿Quieres una parte del juego? Visita auctions.mlb.com.
Tropicalata Smoothie is only here for a limited time. Get one today. Order ahead in the Tropical Smoothie Cafe app for fast, easy pickup. Tropical Smoothie Cafe, the official smoothie of the Texas Rangers.
Tied at 2. We go to the 7th inning. Austin Wynns facing Steven Matz. Wynns homered off of Matz on Tuesday. First pitch this time around is a curveball that misses high, ball 1. Johnny DeLuca's solo home run in the bottom of the 6th tied the game at 2. It's Wynns, Osuna, and Langford. The 1-0, strike over the outside corner. Mentioned just one other game in action. Twins and Royals scoreless in the bottom of the 2nd. Our scoreboard update brought to you by Quick Trip. 1-1. A breaking ball, dribbled foul, third base side. Both those teams figure to make a move or two at the deadline, though the Twins maybe more so as a potential buyer. But there's a lot of talk about their catcher Ryan Jeffers getting traded away. Reports are that the Twins want to take a run at this. 1-2, swing and a miss. Wynns chases a changeup off the plate, and there's one away. So that brings up Alejandro Osuna. He's got one of the 2 hits for the Rangers. He singled in the 5th in front of Wyatt Langford, who doubled. Those are the only 2 hits. They came in the span of 2 batters for the Rangers. The Rangers have walked 3 times and have had a batter hit by a pitch. First pitch to Osuna up in, and he turns out of the way. That's toes just barely pointed towards the first base side as he winds and delivers, and the pitch is a fastball for a strike over the inside corner. Broadcast brought to you by Whataburger. Introducing Whataburger's new limited time Hot Honey Crisp One-A-Chicken Sandwich. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Oh no, they're saying he didn't go. Wow, Jordan Baker says no swing. Looked like a breaking ball blown away that Osuna offered on, but apparently those strong wrists able to keep him from going around. So the count 2-1. The pitch, a fastball, swing and a miss here on a sinker. The count now 2-2. You might have heard in the background the lefty Garrett Clevenger warming. 2-2. That's high. Count 4 to Osuna. Rays have some really good arms in the back end with Clevenger and Baker and Kelly. 3-2. Ball 4. Osuna draws the walk. Matz misses with a sinker. So the Rangers get a base runner off of Matz. And that brings up Wyatt Langford. Langford 0 for 1 in his career against Matz. And Kyle Snyder going to go out and have a chat. Matz now a reliever after spending most of his career as a starter. He kind of moved away from being a regular starter after the 2024 season. Last year, across 53 outings, he only made 2 starts, time split between the Cardinals and the Red Sox. This is his first year with Tampa. It hasn't gone very well, in part because he's given up a lot of homers. 12 homers in just under 56 innings. He's not been great at controlling the running game in his career. Osuna at first. Big hole on the right side with the second baseman Williamson shaded heavily towards the middle. Rondo holding on Osuna. Langford 1 for 3 with that RBI double in the 5th. First pitch. Inside, ball 1. Caminero, the third baseman, is playing a little bit closer towards the line after Langford beat him that way with the double. Center fielder Mullins is exceptionally deep. 1-0, check swing. Langford goes around on a changeup below the zone. Try to hold up, but the count 1-1. One pitch. Outside, a changeup that fades off the plate. The changeup's the pitch that Wyatt has had the least amount of success against. But he's still found opportunities to slug against that pitch. Not hitting for a high average. 2-1. Fastball, swing and a foul back. That was a sinker from Matz. The sinker is Matz's primary fastball. Throws it almost 50% of the time. Duran on deck. Runner at first, the 2-2. Just low with a changeup. Great eye by Langford to not swing at a pitch that was frisbeeing his way and looked like a strike most of the way before it dove just below the zone. So the count's full. Osuna's small lead doesn't go. The pitch, that's high, ball 4. And we've got a challenge request from Fiducia.
The catcher is challenging the pitch.
It's going to be awfully close. Did it catch the corner? Was it on the top of the zone? It was. Wow. That pitch
is a strike. Tampa Bay has 1 challenge remaining.
Matt, you shaved this morning. Whatever hair you have on your cheek from this morning till now, that's the length by which the ball remained in the zone.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's a big challenge by Fiducia to change what would have been first and second and 1 out to a runner at first with 2 outs for Duran. First pitch from Matz. Breaking ball inside, ball 1. It's probably Matz's last batter with Nimmo on deck. Clevenger warmed and presumably ready. 1-0. Breaking ball over the outside corner for a strike. That's the curveball for Matz. Feels like a missed opportunity if the Rangers aren't able to do anything against Matz with the big dog relievers coming up for the Rays. Robbie Ahlstrom, by the way, warming again for the Rangers. The 1-1. Duran takes a high strike. Sinker that came back over the inside corner. The Rays have 8-9 and 1 due up in the bottom of the 7th. Walls, Fiducia, and Diaz. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Zeke. He's 0 for 1. He's walked. He's been hit by a pitch. Matt set, black glove above the belt. A kick in the delivery. Osuna goes. The pitch is high. Fiducia bobbles the ball on the transfer, so Osuna slides in safely to second without a throw. 5th stolen base for Osuna. He's now in scoring position for Ezekiel Duran, who's hitting .340 with runners in scoring position. Count 2-2. The pitch from Matz. Swing and a miss. A changeup, and Duran unable to connect on a delivery that was probably below the zone, and that ends the inning. So Matz puts up a couple of donuts out of the pen. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Stretch time at the Trop. It's 2-2. Rays and Rangers on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
He's still back. He will leap, and he caught it. Luis Lara up against the wall.
Deep left center field. Buxton and Martin, but it is Byron who caught that ball.
Collins is onto the track. He's at the fence. He leaps. He grabs it. He robs Riley Green of a grand slam.
Nico steals a run. Heads up play and great athleticism.
Harris leaped, and he just robbed him. What a play by Michael Harris.
Bellinger goes back. He leaps. He's got it.
That's why he has that gold patch on his glove.
Going back to the track near the wall. Jumps up and makes a remarkable catch.
Benj under it, makes the one-hand catch. Here comes Freeman. Here comes the throw. It's a good one. The slide. Out of the play.
It's a squibbing ground walk. Caballero diving play. From his knees. He throws out Bohm.
Coming on, Cam Smith with a sliding catch. Cam takes one away from Murakami.
Stopping short by Williamson. Gets up and throws him out at first to retire the side.
Responsibly.
We go in depth with your favorite Rangers players each Tuesday afternoon with DFW's hottest show, the G-Bag Nation, 2 to 7 on your official home of the Rangers, 105.3 The Fan.
Robbie Ahlstrom on a pitch in the bottom of the 7th. Walls, Fiducia, and Diaz. A switch hitter, a lefty, and a righty coming up for the Rays. We're tied at 2. Ahlstrom working from the stretch. A high kick over the top delivery, and Walls hits a fly ball to center. Cauley drifts back a few steps. He's under it, and he's got it. And there's one away. Ahlstrom pitched 3 straight days in the Mariners series. Has not pitched in this series until right now. So now he faces the lefty Fiducia. Fiducia has come up in 2 spots that have been critical. The first was in the 3rd. It seemed like an innocuous opportunity. 2 out, nobody on, but he doubled to start a run-scoring rally for the Rays. But then he came up in the 4th against Marco Gonzalez. Bases loaded, 1 out, hit into a huge double play to keep the game tied at 1. The Rangers and Rays now tied at 2 after the Rangers took a 2-1 lead, but then Johnny DeLuca's homer in the 6th tied it at 2. First pitch to Fiducia, and Ahlstrom misses with a slider outside. No action in the Rangers' pen. Garrett Clevenger sat down for a second, but he's now back up and throwing in the Rays' pen. Fiducia swings 1-0, and that one's fouled back and out of play. Rangers have Nimmo, Berger, and the number 5 spot occupied by Josh Smith due up in the 8th. 1-1. Ahlstrom misses high with a fastball. Smith, the third baseman, way off the line, even with the bag. Duran, the shortstop, towards the middle. The 2-1. Big cut and a miss. Fiducia offering out a slider from Ahlstrom. The count 2-2. Ahlstrom's picked up the strikeouts here recently. He was really not striking out a whole lot of batters. Well, the first 15 or so outings, but here lately, strikeouts have piled up. 2-2 pitch to Fiducia. Ahlstrom, a long pause. And here he comes home. Outside, he misses with a slider, and the count full. Three balls, two strikes. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Slider over the plate below the zone. Ahlstrom gets the chase, and he gets the strikeout for the second out in the bottom of the seventh inning. So Yandy Diaz comes up with nobody on in a tie game.
Jared, you mentioned that Ahlstrom pitched in all three games of the series against Seattle. That's the second time since the All-Star break that he has pitched in 3 consecutive days. He's been used a lot here since the break.
First pitch to Diaz, a swing and a foul flared out to the right.
He pitched in the final 2 games of the series in Atlanta, and in the first game of the series at home against the White Sox. So for Ahlstrom now, this is his 8th appearance over the last 12 games.
And that's a big one here, 7th inning tie game. 0-1. Diaz, a swing and a ball slashed foul again, so Ahlstrom gets ahead 0-2. Diaz, a guy who does not strike out a lot at all. Strikeout rate of 14%, well below the league average, which is around 22%. But he did strike out in the 5th inning against Peyton Gray. 0-2, 2 outs. The kick and Ahlstrom's pitch. Swinging a foul off the fist to the netting. So the count remains 0-2. Two runs on 7 hits for the Rays, 2 runs on 2 hits for the Rangers. The 0-2 pitch. Downstairs. Diaz lays off the slider. Somehow, though, despite the Rays having 7 hits and the Rangers 2, the Rangers have left more men on base. Rangers have left 6 on base. The Rays have left just 5 on base. And the 1-2 to Diaz. Hit in the air to center. Cawley backs up, but he's about 5 yards from the track. He's under it. He's got it. And Ahlstrom with a 1-2-3 inning brought to you by Pay's Online Checkout. So we're tied at 2 through 7. Garrett Clevenger coming into the game for the Rays. And we'll be back for the 8th after this on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
The hometown kid is heading home. For the All-Star break, that is. Tigers rookie shortstop Kevin McGonigal, a native of Media, Pennsylvania, has played his way into the Midsummer Classic in Philly. At 21 years old, McGonigal is the 2nd youngest player in Tigers history to reach the All-Star game.
The 0-2 swinging line drive, grabbed with a leap by McGonigal at short, flying through the air to the glove side.
These boys are just playing baseball.
They're playing ball.
The first? That would be Mr. Tiger himself, Al Kaline, at 20 years and 205 days back in 1955. McGonigal has been everything and more for the Tigers. He was named AL Rookie of the Month back in April, and he hasn't slowed down since. McGonigal will be joined by fellow All-Star teammates Dylan Dingler, Riley Green, and Justin Verlander. For the kid that grew up going to games at Citizens Bank Park and idolizing players like Chase Utley and Cole Hamels, this is the best kind of homecoming.
Sell and trade the cards you love. From rookies to autos to grails, all in one app, anytime, anywhere. Welcome to a new era of collecting. Visit arenaclub.com and use code RANGERS to claim your deal.
Rangers and Rays tied at 2. We go to the 8th inning. Bailey and Gallion, attorneys at law, remind you to get home safely. 817-888-8882 or visit thetexasattorney.com for a free consultation. Clevenger on the mound, Nimmo in the box, and here's Matt.
All right, thank you very much, Jared. Brandon Nimmo has walked twice, officially 0 for 1 in the ball game. Lefty on lefty, and a first pitch swing and a miss for strike one here. So Clevenger becomes the 6th pitcher of the day for Tampa Bay, and they have now exhausted their left-handed options in the bullpen. Here's the 0-1. Breaking pitch comes inside, and that makes it 1 ball and 1 strike. Clevenger making his 2nd appearance of the series, his 37th relief outing of the year. He worked in the 7th inning of yesterday's game. The 1-1 pitch. This one drops in a little bit low. So Nimmo up in the count here at 2 balls and 1 strike. Clevenger retired both batters that he faced in the game yesterday, taking care of both Cauley and Osuna. Here's a sharp ground ball to second, down to a knee. Williamson, he picks it up cleanly, fires to first, and we've got 1 out here in the top of the 8th. And that will bring Jake Berger to the plate. 2-2 our score. Rangers getting out hit 7-2. Fortunately for the Rangers, their 2 hits happen to be back-to-back in the 5th inning. A 1-out single by Alejandro Osuna and then a run-scoring double by Wyatt Langford. I'm going to swing here by Jake and a foul ball. Up and out of play on the right side. Strike one. The Rangers scored their first run in the 4th inning without getting a hit, taking advantage of a hit batter and a walk. There was later an error, even though that run is an earned run that was charged to the starter Shane McClanahan. The 0-1 pitch, check swing. Clevenger misses inside and then makes it a ball and a strike. Shane McClanahan leaving in the 4th after hitting Zeke Duran with a pitch and then walking Brandon Nimmo, leaving, according to the report from the Tampa Bay clubhouse, due to left mid-back tightness. Here Clevenger misses outside, and that makes it 2 balls and no strikes. Clevenger this year 2-3, a 3.41 ERA. He also has a couple of saves. Given up 25 hits in 31 2/3. He kicks and throws, and this pitch results in a swing and a miss. Slider that time from the left-hander. And that evens the count here to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Infield playing Berger to pull. Mullins out in center very deep, playing him straight up. Berger awaiting the 2-2. And here it comes. And that's in the dirt, almost hit him in the foot. Full count now to Jake Berger. So when you play this Tampa Bay club, especially here in this ballpark, you get some low-scoring games, and that's what we have had in this series. A 4-1 Texas win on Tuesday, a 3-0 Tampa Bay win yesterday. And a swing and a miss here on a slider. Berger is out on strikes. So 2 down. Josh Smith coming up. Ben Peoples, the right-hander, now warming up for the Rangers. As Josh Smith will get his 2nd plate appearance. Came on as a pinch runner for Jock Peterson back in the 4th. Has remained in the game to play at 3rd. And a first pitch swing and a miss here on a sweeper from Clevenger for strike 1. The Rangers had 4 hits yesterday. They were all doubles. Just 2 hits so far today. A single and a double. Jacob Latz is now up warming in the Rangers pen. This sweeper is way outside. 1-1 the count to Smith. Yesterday, with the Rangers getting 4 doubles, it ended up being the most extra base hits for the Rangers while being shut out in franchise history. 4 extra base hits, all doubles. And the Rangers lost 3-0. This pitch is down. And count now 2 balls and 1 strike. It's the first time that a major league club had put up 4 extra base hits and got shut out since the Orioles turned that trick 2 seasons ago against the Cubs. Check swing here and appeal does not bring about a strike. So Smith up in the count now at 3-1. Happened to the Orioles back on July the 11th of 2024 against Chicago. 3-1 pitch, low and away, ball 4. Smith with a 2-out walk. Well, I tell you what, the next run in this game is critical. Rangers would love to score it here in the 8th. Cam Cauley, the batter. Cauley today 0 for 3, has grounded out to Walls twice at short. He has also struck out. Clevenger straightens to the set. Smith dancing around, and Cauley almost gets chopped down by that pitch. That sinker almost hit him. And in maintaining his balance, he ends up going about 30 feet into foul ground up the first base line. Cauley now back in the box. The pitch clock is reset to 18 seconds. Here comes the 1-0. Swing and a foul back into the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Again, Cauley faced Clevenger yesterday. Clevenger struck him out swinging. And that ended up being an 8-pitch battle between the two. 1 ball, 1 strike here. And now time called at the plate. Williamson at second, playing up the middle with the first baseman Aranda holding Smith at first. The right side of the infield completely open here for Cam Cauley. Slightly open stance as he looks out to the left-hander, who kicks and deals. Check swing, the pitch is down and in. So 2-1 the count now to Cam Cauley. Out in center, Mullins playing Cauley to go the other way. And DeLuca in left, playing toward the alley in left center. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Big rip through a slider there. And that levels the count now to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two men out. Smith at first. Clevenger sets at the chest. And he'll throw over to first. Wow. Lifting that right leg.
What's it, 45 degrees or 450 degrees? I don't know. I guess that technically would be 90 degrees if it's 450, right?
Yeah, he had his right leg pointed toward first, but it seemed like the leg was coming toward home plate. The 2-2, a swing and a miss. He struck him out, got him with a fastball near the top of the zone. So Cauley out on strikes for the final out here in the 8th. No runs, no hits. Rangers leave a man. We go to the bottom of the 8th, tied at 2 on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
Everyone has a horizon.
Fenway Park is no stranger to passionate fans. But last week, the iconic ballpark was treated to a jolt of pure energy.
No Scotland, no party. We're getting invaded by the Scots.
Thousands of Scottish soccer fans have traveled to the U.S. for the World Cup. Eager for a taste of our national pastime, the Tartan Army took their bagpipes to the streets of Boston and unleashed a party to remember. And of course, this included marching into Fenway Park, kilts and all. The Red Sox rolled out the red carpet, honoring their new friends from across the pond with a Scottish celebration night. Safe to say the Scots were grateful, busting out non-stop chants as the Sox took on the Rangers. But the Tartan Army wasn't done there. The drums and bagpipes hit Yankee Stadium next before continuing on to Miami. And inside Lone Depot Park, these brand new baseball fans got to see renowned Scottish soccer star Billy Gilmore throw out the first pitch. March on, Tartan Army. Glad you had a great time at the ballpark. Welcome to the big leagues.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
That's why I believe in Globe Life. Globe Life helps families
feel secure and ready for whatever tomorrow brings.
Globe Life is the official life insurance of the Texas Rangers.
Globe Life, make tomorrow better.
All right, bottom of the 8th, we're tied at 2, 3, and 4 coming up here for Tampa Bay. Starting with Jonathan Aranda, Robbie Ahlstrom back out here for the Rangers. He retired the side in order in the 7th, and a swing and a miss by Aranda for strike 1. Aranda 1 for 3. He singled in the 3rd. Rangers playing Aranda to pull in the infield. Smith well off the line at 3rd. Ahlstrom with the 0-1, and that's fouled straight back. So nothing into the count. Action in both bullpens. Ben Peoples, the right-hander, now the lone reliever warming up for Texas. And Brian Baker, the Tampa Bay closer, we saw him yesterday, now starting to get loose for the Rays. Ahlstrom with the 0-2. Swing and a bouncer right side. This is fielded by Lopez on the outfield turf, and a short toss to Berger will take care of Aranda. And Aranda was running slow out of the box. He broke his bat. I think he's still holding the handle.
Part of that broken bat might have just barely clipped Austin Wynns. Jacob Newburn, the trainer, coming out to check on Wynns. There might be a little bit of a bloody spot, but that's why Aranda was slow. Aranda felt on the backswing the bat flying out, and it hit Wynns in his right hand, and so he turned and looked at Wynns before actually exiting the box.
Yeah, got him right across the forearm near the wrist. Well, Skip Schumacher out to the hill, and that's going to be all for Ahlstrom. He brings in Ben Peoples. So with this tie game and 1 out here in the 8th, as Peoples warms, we pause for this on the Rangers Radio Network.
Taco Bueno is bringing bold Tex-Mex flavor to Texas Rangers fans with game day meals.
He's still back. He will leap, and he caught it. Luis Lara up against the wall.
Deep left center field. Buxton and Martin, but it is Byron who caught that ball.
Collins is onto the track. He's at the fence. He leaps. He grabs it. He robs Riley Green of a grand slam.
Nico steals a run. Heads up play and great athleticism.
Harris leaped, and he just robbed him. What a play by Michael Harris.
Bellinger goes back. He leaps. He's got it.
That's why he has that gold patch on his glove.
Going back to the track near the wall. Jumps up and makes a remarkable catch.
Benj under it, makes the one-hand catch. Here comes Freeman. Here comes the throw. It's a good one. The slide. Out of the play.
It's a squibbing ground walk. Caballero diving play. From his knees, he throws out Bohm.
Coming on, Cam Smith with a sliding catch. Cam takes one away from Murakami. Stopping short by Williamson, gets up and throws him out at first to retire the side.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
Ben Peoples coming on for a second straight game to face Junior Caminero here. Caminero 0 for 2 with an intentional walk today. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. First offering, swing and a foul straight back for strike 1. Caminero, through that swing, had his bottom hand come off the handle. He held onto the bat with his top hand. You don't see that very often. He swung so violently the bat came around and hit him in the back along the belt.
He was trying to hit one 600 feet.
Trying to hit it through the roof. Leo 1. Foul back again, so Peoples gets ahead on the count here at 0-2. Ben pitched in the 8th inning of yesterday's game, faced 4 batters, retired 3 all on ground ball outs. The only batter who reached, Yandy Diaz, with a walk.
Former teammates. Guys were Bowling Green hot rods together.
This pitch lifted high into the air right field. Osuna to his right is under it. Now takes a step back to the left before making the catch to get Caminero for the second out. And now we'll bring up the left-handed hitting Cedric Mullins. And coming up on, speaking of Mullins, coming up Saturday August the 8th, the Rangers host the Orioles. Mullins, a former Oriole. And specialty night tickets will get you a co-branded Margaritaville Rangers jersey. You can purchase your specialty night ticket by going to Rangers.com. First pitch to Mullins. He shoots one down the left field line. This one headed toward the wall, and it is just over the wall in the corner. Are you kidding me? An opposite field home run for Mullins. And the Rays lead it 3-2.
315 feet down the line. That ball was just inside the pole. And I don't know what they're saying. It's 338 feet. I don't know how, if that 315 is right. I was going to guess like 320.
It just dropped over the wall.
Not a bad pitch, but Mullins showing the value of just putting the ball in play. And that one puts the Rays now 3 outs away from winning the rubber game of this series.
So here's DeLuca, whose home run in the 6th tied it at 2. And he shoots one the other way, but well foul and out of play for strike 1.
That would have been a home run in just 7 ballparks. But that doesn't really matter because we're only playing in one of them, and it was a home run in that one.
This pitch bounces in and past Wins. So a ball and a strike to DeLuca. For Mullins, the home run, his 13th of the year. His 34th RBI this season. Now the 1-1. Swing and a miss. DeLuca tried to check. He went around. And that'll make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Peoples, a fastball slider pitcher. He's thrown a handful of changeups since coming up to the big club. Been in the organization now for a month after coming over in a trade with the White Sox. Here's a ground ball off the mound up the middle and into center. Base hit for DeLuca. So DeLuca now 2 for 4. And Victor Mesa Jr. will be batting. For Peoples, this is his 10th appearance since joining the Rangers. His ERA coming in at 1.93. That home run given up to Mullins, the 3rd home run that he's allowed. Jordan Teague, Rangers pitching coach, going out to have a chat here with Peoples and Wins. Well, in the top of the 9th inning, the Rangers have due up Lopez, Wins, and Osuna. Ranger pinch hitters that would be available would include Evan Carter and Elias Diaz.
And Brian Baker has not blown a save in like 7 years.
Second in the American League in saves. When he picked up the save yesterday, it was his 18th consecutive save opportunity closed out. Only closers with longer such streaks in the big league: San Diego's Mason Miller and Toronto's Louis Varland. So here's Mason now. Peoples fires, and this pitch is fouled out of play, third base side, strike 1. Mesa 1 for 3 with a bunt base hit back in the 4th. He's also struck out and flied out to deep left center. 3-2 now. Rays with the lead here in the bottom of the 8th on the opposite field blast by Cedric Mullins.
Baker has allowed 1 run since May 17th. Seems like he's due.
Well, right now, that's all the Rangers would need to spoil the conversion of a save. Peoples would like to keep it right there, the 0-1. Foul ball back in our direction, just above us to our left. 0-2 now to count to Mesa.
I spoke to Peoples the other day after he faced the White Sox. I was like, is that cool to face your former club? He said, yeah, but it's going to be a lot cooler when I get to face the Rays because he spent so much more time there. Making his second appearance of the series, so close to helping to put up a donut in this inning.
Runner goes. The 0-2 pitch is down. Wins does not throw through. Holds on to the ball. as DeLuca picks up the steal, his 11th this season. 1-2 now the count to Mesa.
Mullins going the other way. Didn't make the Rangers pay earlier in the game when they walked Caminero to face him, but he makes the Rangers pay right here.
Now Peoples with the 1-2. Check swing foul. Back into the netting. Mesa, just 24 years of age, as Jared mentioned earlier, Cuban native. Was with the Marlins, played 16 games with Miami last year. Again, the 1-2, and a swing and a miss. And Mesa is out on strikes, slider that time from Peoples. And that concludes the bottom half of the 8th inning. Not before the Rays regain the lead on the home run by Mullins. We go to the 9th. Rangers trail here 3-2 on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
And on the ground sharply beyond third, and it's going to roll down the left field line toward the corner. Burrell picks it off the cutout. He's going to have a play at second. Millar is out at second base.
What a slide.
He slid short of the bag, and Tomas Perez puts the tag on him. And now they're chatting. What a nice scene.
That wasn't a real good slide.
One out and nobody on for Yordan Alvarez.
Yordan Alvarez crushes one high and deep. Forget about it. 44 just matches the first pitch he sees tonight for his 35th home run of the year. And the Astros out in front 1-0.
I still don't know what he did, what the baseballs did to him to make him so mad. That ball was destroyed halfway up the bleachers. Yeah, 427 feet.
Well, we certainly served it up over the plate. This is a burger fit for a home run king, the 99 burger in honor of Aaron Judge. They sell a bazillion of these at Yankee Stadium. It looks pretty good. I feel like we passed the test. What about you?
I think so.
All right, here we go to the top of the 9th. Rangers need a run to extend this game, and Nicky Lopez will lead it off against the closer, Brian Baker. Baker picked up the save in Tampa Bay's win yesterday, 3-0. First pitch to Nicky Lopez is down and in for ball one. Now, these two faced off last night. Lopez hitting a line drive that Junior Caminero made a leaping grab on for the game's final out. This pitch in there for a strike. Make it 1-1 Caminero, these first two pitches playing in on the turf over at third and playing about 15 or so feet, maybe even a little bit more, off the line.
Lopez thought about a challenge. The hand hovered over the helmet. He never quite tapped it, and good thing he didn't, because the Rangers would have lost that and would have been out of challenges. They have just one miss available.
The big right-hander fires and misses inside. Almost got Lopez there with the pitch. And so the count now at 2-1. Baker, a guy with a lot of red on his Baseball Savant page. That means he's really good. On for the 44th time. And he'll toss this one on the inside corner for a strike. 2-2 now to Nicky Lopez. Evan Carter's in the on-deck circle. He'll bat for Austin Wynn. Baker setting at the belt, turns, kicks, and throws. And that's lifted foul and out of play left side. Baker, 29 saves in 32 opportunities. As we mentioned, he has converted 18 consecutive save chances, a 1.52 earned run average. Fastball changeup pitcher, the occasional slider, and a swing and a foul tip here. Wow, Nicky got just a piece of that fastball to stay alive. Lopez on the day, 0 for 3. Grounded out 3 times. Caminero now back near the outfield turf. And the 2-2 pitch in there for a called third strike, and Lopez is challenging.
Batter challenging the pitch.
I think he's going to win this, Matt.
Ooh.
The pitch is a ball. Texas has 1 challenge remaining.
The pitch was just inside. The ball a half inch from the inside corner. And the count to Lopez is full. Very good challenge. See if he can reach. Baker now with the 3-2. And it's lined foul. Out of play over on the third base side. Lopez trying to get on here with the Rangers down by a run in the 9th inning. Nicky back in the box. Baker ready to go on the hill, pitching off the first base side of the rubber. The 3-2. And another called third strike and another challenge by Lopez.
The batter is challenging the pitch.
I think he's going to win this one as well.
And indeed, that fastball was inside.
Pitch the ball. Texas has 1 challenge remaining.
So Lopez draws the walk, needing 2 challenges to get to first.
And not only that, Matt, but remember, after the 1-0 pitch that was called a strike, he thought about challenging. The hand was over the helmet, never quite hit it. And because of that, he preserved the challenge. He would have been wrong. He couldn't have challenged if he would have pulled the trigger there.
There's some barking going on between Stu Sherwater, the plate umpire, and the Rangers dugout. That barking is stopped as we'll get a mound visit now. Kyle Snyder, pitching coach for the Rays, going out to talk with Baker and the entire infield here. And
even though you have challenges as a coach, I don't want the umpire to put my guys in a position to have to use challenges. And that pitch missed by 1.5 inches. So, yeah, challenges available, that's great, but I think the preference from the dugout is, hey, just get the call right.
Yes,
Not
exactly.
Easier said than done, but that's probably the source of Justin Veely's frustration.
Well, Baker usually paints, and that's causing some challenges here for Stu Sherwater, as Evan Carter now pinch hits for Austin Wynns. And he shows bunt, and this pitch hits the plate. Good stop there by Fiducia. Ball 1. Baker's painting brought to you by CertaPro Painters. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters. Visit CertaPro.com. 1-0 here to Carter. Caminero well in on the turf at third. And Evan tries to bunt and misses. And the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, he kind of punched at it. That's not, I think, what you typically teach fundamentally when trying to lay down a bunt.
And you try to catch the pitch as opposed to punching at it. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. He's not bunting, and he almost gets hit. He gets spun around in the box by that Baker pitch. So make it 2 balls and a strike here to Evan Carter.
The Rangers contemplating a review. And they're going to pass on the opportunity.
So 2-1 here to Evan, batting .203, a .319 on base percentage. Here's the 2-1. Swinging away, he drives it out into right. Mesa racing back to his left, and he reaches out and makes the running grab. Bangs into the wall, holds on, fires it back into the infield. Lopez returns to first. Evan Carter coming oh so close to an extra base hit. It is the second extra base hit that Mesa has robbed the Rangers of here today.
Yeah, Mesa took extra bases away from Nimmo early, takes extra bases away from Carter there. Carter just didn't hit it hard enough. It was off the end of his bat. He was out in front of the changeup. He hit it well, had some muscle to it, but exit velocity only around about 92 miles an hour, and it allowed Mesa the time to track it down.
Here's Alejandro Osuna with a swing and a miss, strike 1. First pitch fastball that time from Baker. Osuna has been on board his last 2 times up. A single in the 5th. He came around to score, and he walked and stole a base in the 7th. He's 1 for 2. Baker with the 0-1 and a foul ball. Lopez was on the move there. And Osuna now behind in the count at 0-2.
Yeah, Osuna got a very hittable fastball, so you don't blame him for taken a cut at that, but Lopez had second base stolen if Osuna elected not to swing. But in this spot, you get a fastball that's not quite middle, but close to it. You got to take a rip.
Baker, a little bit of a bend, and now straightens to the set. A nod, a kick, and the pitch. And that one is up, so make it a ball and 2 strikes. Mesa's running catch, robbing Carter of an extra base hit. Our What a Play of the Game brought to you by Whataburger. 1 out, Lopez at first. Time called. Osuna steps out. Now the lefty hitter back in the box, waiting on the 1-2. Baker fires in a foul ball. Curling over the netting, into the seats, down to our left. Osuna steps out, readjusts the batting gloves. Digs back in, taps the plate twice with his bat as he looks out to Baker. Baker ready. And here's his pitch. It's high. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Osuna.
Well, they're making Baker work. Not just handing it to him.
This will be his 19th pitch coming up here. The 2-2. In there for a called third strike. The changeup. Osuna, the second out. Rangers down to their last out. And Wyatt Langford will be the batter. Well, these two did not meet yesterday. Wyatt 1 for 4 today. Drove in a run with a double in the 5th. Baker fires and he misses high and outside for ball 1. Langford 0 for 2 in his career against Baker with a strikeout. Lopez takes his lead from first, the 1-0. Swing and a ball popped up foul. Back out of play off to our right. So 1 ball, 1 strike to count here to Langford.
Yeah, that might have been the one Wyatt wants back. It was a changeup that was basically middle. But Wyatt was out in front of it. So it was in a very hittable spot.
Now the 1-1. That pitch is inside. Wyatt sort of a little bit of a jerk back away from the plate there to get out of the way. And he's ahead on the count now at 2-1.
Caminero third is in no doubles alignment. Outfield deep, protecting against extra base hits as well.
The 2-1, swing and a miss. Fastball away that time, 2-2 the count.
Yeah, that would have been ball 3.
And many standing here in this crowd of 15,000 plus. Wyatt surveying the defense. They'll play him to pull in the infield. 2-2. Lopez away from first. Baker's pitch. Ooh, up and in, and it almost hit Wyatt. Wyatt managing to get out of the box, and it's now a full count.
Well, that means that Lopez is going on the pitch. So Mullins is deep in center. It prevents extra base hits, but it makes it tougher for him to get to some balls that maybe aren't hit super hard. And so with Lopez going, well, it gives him a little bit of a chance to score without necessarily needing an extra base hit.
There he goes. Here's the pitch, and it's a foul ball. Fastball coming in a little bit there on Wyatt, but he stays alive by getting a piece of it. Next pitch will be pitch number 26 here for Baker in the 9th. The 3-2. Low, ball 4. He missed with a changeup. So Langford walks. Tying run now in scoring position. The go-ahead run on board. And Ezekiel Duran is the batter.
Well, this has been the best offense for the Rangers today. They've walked 7 times. They've only picked up 2 hits. But you get a third hit, then well, you might tie this game, maybe even take the lead.
Duran faced Baker last night and grounded out to third. Zeke 0 for 2 with a walk lifetime against the big right-hander. 2 on, 2 out. First pitch to Zeke. A swing and a ball fouled back off the press box just to our right. Strike one. Zeke today has been on board twice. He walked in the first, hit by a pitch, and he scored a run in the fourth. He has since flied to center and struck out. Lopez at second, Langford at first. The 0-1. Swing and a ball tapped foul as it bounces to the backstop. And Zeke behind in the count here, 0-2.
That was a good changeup from Baker that ended up at the very bottom of the zone. If Zeke doesn't swing, that's still a strike. And now he's in a tough 0-2 hole.
He was down 0-2 to Baker last night. The right-hander sets, kicks and fires. And it's popped up foul right side. This one will make it back into the seats. So we'll do it again.
Baker elevated the heater there. Good job by Zeke getting some wood on it.
As Jared mentioned earlier, Zeke hitting around 340 with men in scoring position. Again, the 2-strike pitch. A swing and a miss. He struck him out. He got him with a fastball. Baker pumping his fist as he picks up his 30th save of the season. And the Rangers fall here today by the final of 3-2. Rays take the series 2-1, and we're back with your totals right after this on the Trajan Wealth Rangers Radio Network.
That one's a moonshot. Moonshot is powering big wins off the field, building UL 891 switchboards in our 500,000 square foot Texas facility for the AI revolution. Family owned, Texas made. Moonshot, making the impossible possible. MoonshotUS.com. Hey Rangers fans, taste Slurpee Summer at the ballpark.
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game. These games. All the games. Pre-game,